Welcome to the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with Dr. Fuck and the Ayatollah of Alcohola, Ian Wadley, better known as Wadzilla. So enjoy another awesome, incredible episode of the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. Bam, 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 diddly dee. Control!
Smack 'em a gob, everybody. It's me. With me is...
Oh, yeah! Did it come across? No? I don't know. Maybe that shit's lost forever.
Well, everybody out there that's listening to the show, come to YouTube and watch Ian crack a beer.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though it makes no noise, but he is cracking them on video.
If you can't hear it, just crack your own beer and pretend.
Exactly.
It's Wadzilla, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. Lack of sleep, but I'm here yawning my ass off. Feeling good. You know, health is good. Just, you know, I've had a long day, man. And,
oh, shit.
Ian hit me up saying, let's do something, and we're doing something.
Yeah, we fucked up. We originally decided on your Almost Human channel when we did the live stream on Thursday, the Kiss episode. I was so like, ugh, after Kiss. I was like, man, let's do something good. Not even a fan episode. Let's do something good. So let's do Alice Cooper Killer. Then I realized we did Alice Cooper Killer. And I called you this morning and I said, hey, we already done that. Pick something else. So then you picked Sad Wings. I was like, okay. Let me double check, make sure we didn't do that. And we both did that. Couldn't find out we did it. And thanks to Samuel Wetz who set you straight. But now we're doing my favorite Judas Priest album of all time. So I'm happy. I'm happy. And we're recording again. Doing a regular show. It's been a minute.
But we're also doing a YouTube thing.
Yes. And this is how it's going to be. From now on, there is going to be a video. We're an audio visual podcast now, like all the successful ones. We're going to have the YouTube version and we're going to have the Podbean version. Now, you know, with the audio version, it's going to be what you're used to with the stuff in the background, all that shit, all the awesome stuff that Ralph picks out that you all know and love. With the YouTube version, we're not going to have that because of all the copyright shit. But some people want to see us. I don't know why. And some people want to hear us. That I totally get. But this week, this episode is going to be posted on Monday. Before the coming weekend, I will have the Patreon all set up. So you guys can join that. What we decided we're going to do is for $5 a month. We've got, as of now, we only have one tier. $5 a month. You're going to get at least 2 live shows a month that only Patreons can be part of. And, you know, we'll even do like every once in a while, we're going to pick one of the Patreons and we'll make you part of the show. Not going to be like every week, you know, but we'll pick different people at random, make you part of the show. And you'll just get something exclusive that nobody else will get. And just another reason, not only to join our Patreon, but to join the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast YouTube page. I mean, you should be on the Facebook page already. But yeah, going forward now, you're going to have the audio, the visual, the whole fucking shebang. And we still got those T-shirts that nobody's bought in a long fucking time. Make sure you go to Tone Threads. I think it's Tone Threads. and it's been so long, I don't even fucking remember. Type in Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. Get your fucking Rock and Metal Combat Podcast T-shirts, which everybody loves. But now you can do the Patreon thing, and it's just going to be something more that we can offer you guys, and a whole nother way to enjoy the show and hang out with us.
Yeah,
that's a lot of entertainment for $5 a month. God damn it!
Oh yeah. So let's do it. We're going to start next week.
Yes. This episode will be aired on Monday. I don't know what the fucking date is, but it'll be on Monday. And the coming Saturday is when we'll do our first Patreon show. Don't worry, I will have everything set up. Get on the Facebook page. All the information will be there. hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday by the latest. I will have everything ironed out, and you guys can get ready for the fucking weekend. God damn it!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and it should be set up that even, if you can't be there live for it Saturday, if you are a Patreon, you will still have access to whatever we do on Saturday. But I implore all of you to be there live if you can.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Fucking A, right? Greatest podcast in the fucking world. America's podcast. Truly America's podcast.
Did you hear what Ralph said? He called it America's podcast.
It's it's the world's podcast. Fuck that. We're going global.
Thank God you give a wink, wink, and then after the show, you give them a call and you iron it all out.
Yeah. See, I do it with a wink, That's the difference. But we've been doing the live shows for a while. Haven't done a regular episode, so no new iTunes reviews. I don't think there's any Podbean reviews. To tell you the truth, I haven't been on Podbean for a while because we haven't done any regular episodes. So fuck it, let's get to something we haven't done in forever, and that is the news. And there's been so much news, Ralph.
I need to take a break. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Potty break. Let me get back to the good people here. So this is live, man. This is live, and when Ralph's got to take a shit or a piss, he's got to take a shit or a piss. You know me, I'm going to take some pee-pee breaks. You're going to see that shit on the live show. That shit gets edited out of the audio. But this is pee-pee breaks included and poop breaks. So how you guys doing? What are you wearing? I see you. It's going to be a good episode. Good to get back at this shit with you fine people. The fine people and then those two assholes. You know who you are. You two assholes. Maybe three. Oh, man. What a day. How was your guys' football day? My fucking Raiders got fucking skull drug. It's fucking embarrassing. I mean, I knew we were going to lose, but not like that. Fucking football. It's a curse. It's a curse. If you don't like sports, consider yourself lucky. One less thing that's going to give you a fucking heart attack. And if you're a fan of any team in the AFC West other than the Raiders, go fuck yourself. Up the ass. I hate football. It sucks. It's heartbreaking. It's demoralizing. Haven't had fun since 1983. But God damn it, we're going to have fun today. Talk about Judas Priest. It'll be fucking awesome. Talking about my favorite Judas Priest. Spoiler alert! It's not your favorite Judas Priest album. You're wrong. It's much heavier than Kiss. So, you fucking Kiss tards. Put on some diapers. This is men's metal. Make you shit yourself. See, Ralph already had to go to the bathroom. We ain't even started the fucking review yet. Yum, yum, yum. Beer, beer, beer.
All
right, he's back.
Yeah, you know what was cool is that
what's that?
When I went to the bathroom, you kept talking, saying like it's live. We're not live.
Oh yeah, we're not live, but the video's not going to be edited, right?
That's what I was about to say. Well, it's good. We should talk when we go to each other's bathroom, so I don't have to fucking edit the show at all.
There you go. Just trying to help, boss. That's right, boss. Here to help. All right.
I was watching today. I got Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And they have a show. It's called The 50 Worst Movies Ever Made.
Yeah.
And like number 4 was Smoking the Bandit 3. I'm part of the top 5 of the worst movies made.
I think Smoking the Bandit 3 is like top 4 of the 5 worst movies. That's how bad it is.
You know what they said? I didn't know this about Smoking the Bandit 3. It was originally called Smokey is the Bandit.
Yep, I knew that.
Where Jackie Gleason plays the bandit and
yeah.
But then they changed it and Jerry Reed played
Yeah. What's crazy, I saw that in the fucking theaters. What year did that come out? Was that 83?
83.
Yeah, I was 9 years old, and I knew how bad it sucked at 9 years old. You know, I knew, but I was kind of seasoned by then. I started going to movies like, when I was around 5, like going to R-rated movies and everything. I'd see multiple movies a week, and I already knew then what a fucking horrible movie it was. Aside, from the great extra working there by you. But
Yeah,
other than that,
that was the only good thing about that movie. Me and my crocus shirt.
Yeah. It was so bad that the elephant from Smokey and the Bandit 2 read the script and refused to be in it. That's how bad it was. True story.
Wow.
All righty. Well, let's get to the news.
Yeah, let's do this.
And since I know you've had a long day, it's been forever since we've done news. I'm going to keep going to you say, I've had it with the fucking news. Let's start the review already, okay?
Okay, all right. No, I'm good. I'm good. I can go for the long haul.
Okay,
All right. To get up early tomorrow. It's good. I'll be sleepy, but I'll plow along. I don't want to go to bed so early,
All right, okay. All right. Well, Chad Gray says Mudvayne has hired a second guitarist to fill the band's sound out live. It's awesome. Do you think having that second guitarist live will change your opinion on Mudvayne, Ralph?
Oh yeah, because they suck. And if they had another guitar player, I'll be a big fan then.
I saw Mudvayne live once at one of the
Ozfest.
one of the Ozfest.
I was there.
And yeah, we were at the same venue. And by that point, I think it was their second or third album. And I really didn't like anything past the first album. So all I was like, okay, play Dig and then bring on the next band because I love that fucking song. But they went way commercial after that and really gave up on them. And I figure you probably never liked them to begin with, huh?
I only like the demos.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. all the elite metalheads.
Yeah.
But, the only good thing Metallica did was No Life to Leather.
Yeah. After that, they sold out.
Yeah, one of those type of people. I could say that about the band Cynic, though. Cynic, their demos were awesome. Then when they became big with Focus,
they lost focus, huh?
No, it became big. But they totally changed their sound.
Happens a lot. All right. Well, dipshit Aaron Lewis explains the key difference between touring with Stained and touring solo. And I didn't even read the article, but I'm going to guess that touring with Stained, he performs to pussy metal fans, and touring solo, he performs to pussy country fans. That shit's fucking horrible. How did that shit ever get big? Man, the 90s fucking sucked.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, the reason it became big is because it's horrible. What doesn't become big that's not horrible, dude? Come on.
Yeah, it's not too often something good gets big.
Man, forever. I mean, yeah, I know we have differences of opinion when it comes to Ghost. But I like the poppy direction Ghost took, and they're big now. But other than them, I can't think of one band that's popular that I like. I mean, I love a lot of new bands, but they ain't popular.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's why we're fucked.
Well, here's the deal. I only like new bands that sound like old bands. So in a way, I'm stuck in the past too. I'm just not as bad as those people that, like Eddie Trunk, only likes old stuff. I like new stuff, but it's got to sound like the old stuff. So I'm kind of like Eddie Trunk, but at least I'll explore new music and not be, what is it? He's into like shit like Dirty Honey and these new bands, but they're these new bands that already have this kind of buzz and management throwing money at Eddie Trunk for him to like them. It's like, fuck, to me, Dirty Honey, the Struts, it's all terrible. Greta Van Fleet, it's horrible new music. Where if you think rock's coming back, those ain't the bands that are going to do it. Let me tell you. And it's already been proven because rock ain't back.
Yeah, you're damn right about that. All right. Well, this next story, you might have incorporated some of this in one of your newer videos that unfortunately I haven't got to watch yet. I do watch a shit ton of your videos, but you put out so goddamn many.
Every day.
Sometimes, yeah, it takes me a while.
Every day,
But,
2 times a day, every day.
yeah, that's a lot of entertainment for free. For free. For this shit, you're going to pay us, for the extra shit.
Yeah, and I'm going to put extra rocket sauce in this.
Yeah. Extra rocket
I'm getting
sauce.
all lazy and tired now. But when it's time to do the Patreon show, I'm going to get a lot of sleep before that show.
Yeah, it's going to get greasy and dirty. But I saw you made a video recently about KK Downing, and his incessant crying. In this story, he says the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance just didn't feel like it used to. He also said that he wasn't allowed to walk the red carpet with the band and everything. And I think it's bullshit. I mean, I really do. But I mean, what's your theory? Does he just need to shut the fuck up, or does he have a righteous anger to speak on all this?
No, he doesn't have righteous anger, that's for sure. But yeah, speak out because they're not going to let you back. And as I understand it, hearing from the Priest side, he kind of kept his distance from Judas Priest at the Rock Hall. Didn't really make effort to be friendly with any of them, but Richie Faulkner went up to him, and they hit it off fine. But the rest of the guys, they said it, man. KK wouldn't come nowhere near us. I don't know the whole story. Maybe because of management saying, look, you can't walk the red carpet. Then KK was like, well, fuck these guys, and avoiding them. Either way, man, KK's fucking it up. It doesn't look like he's coming back. He's just not coming back. Yeah. And it's all because of management. It's not because of Rob Halford. It's not because of Ian Hill. It's Jane Andrews and Glenn Tipton are the ones that are making sure he'll never be back in Priest. And I think both sides are to blame.
I agree. I think it's ridiculous that he's not back in the band. I mean, look, there was a long time where they were like, "Oh, fuck Rob Halford," but ended up bringing him back. But I mean, let's be honest, that was out of fucking necessity. But the fact that he's not, he fucked up, but Rob fucked up, and you let him back in. I think he should be there, but he doesn't help himself with the constant whining and bitching. And I think you're absolutely right. I think it's all Jane Andrews and Glenn Tipton behind it. Even though it seems like he keeps pointing out Ian Hill as the one. But I doubt that. I doubt that. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, Matt is making Ian Hill say that.
Yeah. All right. Former Rainbow singer Jolyn Turner performed Rainbow and Deep Purple classics in Bulgaria.
Did he wear a wig?
No. They're showing him bald.
Good.
But man, what the fuck would this guy do without singing songs he wrote 40 years ago and third world countries?
Well, what has he done other than Rainbow?
Well, he's actually put out. I mean,
no. Wait. Let me rephrase that. What has he done that's been popular?
True. Nothing. But to me, man, that's got to be kind of a sad existence for somebody who steadily puts out albums. I mean, he's always putting out an album. I'll give him that.
That last album, the last album Jolyn Turner did,
the metal one,
heavy. It was really good, heavy. I was shocked how heavy that album is. That last Jolyn Turner album, I highly recommend it. See, I'd be pissed if I go see Jolyn Turner, he doesn't play some new songs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, though. Because I have it and I haven't listened to it yet. I mean, I have the guy's full discography, and I barely scratched the surface of it. But that's what I was wondering: is it any good? Because me, we always, you joke me about it. I hate fucking metal, but I'm like, I'm not going to like something just because it's fucking heavy. And I've heard other reviews of people of the new album, and they said they didn't like it, that it it felt like he was trying too hard and didn't feel natural or sound natural. But you say it's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I think it's heavy and it sounds legit to me. It doesn't sound try hard, and it was just a shockingly good. That's what I got to say.
Awesome. Well, a band I'm excited to see, I haven't seen in fucking years. I know you hate. Biohazard's on tour. They're opening up for Megadeth. The show's not coming anywhere near me. But I gotta tell you, I in all honesty, I don't even know if I'd go if it was here, because Megadeth is so fucking horrible live, and not performance wise, I'm saying, but set list wise. I always check, man. They have like one of the worst set lists around. He still won't drop that like Turd Lamont and all that fucking shit. They don't play the old shit, so I don't know if I go just to see Biohazard, but I would like to see Biohazard.
I don't think the right word is that I hate them. I don't hate Biohazard. I detest them violently.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm glad we could.
I saw them open for Slayer.
Yeah.
What was the album after Seasons? Divine Intervention, was that it?
Yeah, yeah.
It was Biohazard and Machine Head.
Okay. Yeah, I knew Machine Head opened up that tour. I didn't know Biohazard did.
Yeah, too. It was a 3 bill. And oh my God, Machine Head was terrible. Biohazard, terrible. And
really? You didn't even like Machine Head back then, huh?
Not even Burn My Eyes. No, that's the one.
Wow.
I hate Machine Head, but I like Burn My Eyes. I was like, dude, that album to me is bouncy and Pantera light. Like, I want to be Pantera all of a sudden. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it was someone else and it wasn't Rob Flynn, let's say some Joe Blow I never heard of, started Machine, right, I still wouldn't like it, but I wouldn't find it so fucking fake because of Rob Flynn. He's such a phony. It's like he's all thrashing, godly and violence. Then, the thrash dies down. Oh, now I want to be Pantera. Oh, now I want to be fucking Limp Bizkit. It's like, I don't know how people can forgive that guy. I don't know. Remember when he came out against Phil Anselmo?
Oh yeah. Oh boy, did he take some shit for that?
What a Karen he was for that shit.
Did you ever? I mean, you might have been so like fuck them by that point, but did you ever listen to The Blackening?
You know what? I have, but the songs were really long on that album, right?
Yeah, there's some lengthy songs.
Yeah, I remember hearing it at a friend's house, and it didn't grab me. At least it was a new metal, but it's still. I remember. Right.
Well, that's when Phil Demo. Well, actually, Phil Demo came back the album before From the Ashes. But I am surprised even that you wouldn't like. But I can kind of sometimes you just get such a like I'm not even gonna fucking give you a chance.
I'll give anything a chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I mean, there's some shit I'm so like, you've already lost me so much. I don't know if I could listen to it with open fucking ears. Like, everybody who sucks the dick of that Montrose album.
Well,
I didn't grow up with Montrose. So like when I hear it now, it's like all I hear is my arch enemy's voice. So I can't even listen to it with honest ears and give it a chance. Cause I'm just like, and I'm just wondering if that's how you are.
I'm that way with Def Leppard. I give Def Leppard another chance. That's Motley Crue. These are bands that don't deserve another chance because it's not going to be good. You just know. There's some bands that they're so done. They're way past their expiration date. Motley Crue is a glowing example of that. And I don't hate New Tattoo. I mean, I think most of it is stupid cheese, first band on the moon crap. But I like the White Punks on Dope. I like that cover. I like Fake on that album. And there was I like the 2 ballads on the album, but the rest, the fucking Porn Star and Treat Me Like the Dog I Am. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ.
All right, you're upsetting Mick Watkins right now.
Mick Watkins loves that album. Yeah. I feel bad for Mick.
All right. Well, next story, and I think this story has a little bit to do with you. Corey Taylor says, "I don't think I'll ever be a truly peaceful person," and I think it's because he's watched your reviews of Slipknot, and that makes me happy.
Seriously, and the guy's not a bad singer because I remember when Chris Cornell died, he did a version of Outshine that was really good. But man, somebody paid for me to do the first two Slipknot albums, and those are the two everybody says are the best ones. Iowa and whatever was the one before.
Yeah, the self-titled in Iowa.
It was hands down the worst thing I ever heard in my life. It's not only noisy new metal crap, but then they throw in these little sections of boy band, like boy band sounding shit. I was like, man. And all I could think of, man, is that, this society's so fucked up that where there were a lot of kids molested that are fans of Slipknot today.
Yeah, by their fathers who listen to Korn.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the funny thing is, as somebody like I've only heard the two albums you had to review. Those are the only Slipknot albums I ever bought or heard in their entirety. But I know it got much worse after that because it got lighter and more commercial. So consider yourself lucky because if you thought that sucked, everything after Iowa is 1,000 times worse. I mean, 1,000 times worse. Imagine, what you hate about it, but add like a little, Linkin Park and Stain to it. Yeah, it gets fucking worse.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll be like the worst thing I've heard in my life, but worse?
Yeah, worse. Trust me. Just trust me. I hope you don't have to find out. I really hope
yeah.
I feel bad. Like I shouldn't even say this because there's somebody who will see this or listen to this and they'll be like, "Oh, I know what I'm paying Ralph to do now." But
yeah, I'll send that money back if it ain't good money.
There you go. All right. Well, here's something that's got to warm your heart because I know you hate this son of a bitch, and so do I. But Jan Werner, however the fuck you pronounce his name.
I heard about this.
Yeah, so he's gotten removed from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame board that he created after comments that he made about black and female musicians not being articulate. And the funny thing is, he just released a new book called The Masters, which, in this politically correct day and age we live in, probably isn't a good thing to call it. But it was his opinion of, who are the masters of music. And so he was in an interview, they mentioned, well, you don't really interview, any female musicians or black musicians. And he basically said, they're not articulate, basically like they can't hold a conversation. They're not that fucking smart. So, in this like woke era of political correctness, probably the worst thing he could say, and the backlash to this has been incredible. And as much as I hate this cancel culture bullshit and everything, it couldn't happen to a better fucking asshole. Yeah, this guy is a total piece of shit. He's a fucking elitist. He's the reason Jackson Browne is in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but not Thin Lizzy. Yeah. There's so many bands that he's had a personal agenda against. One of them, whether you think they belong there or not, Journey. He's gone on record and saying that as long as I live and breathe, a band like Journey will never make it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And regardless of what you think of Journey, just to know that the person in charge, is, it comes down to his personal opinion. And I love that there was a guy that was fired from from Rolling Stone when he was still in charge. He's no longer involved with Rolling Stone. He's sold off all his interests and stuff like that. Not that the magazine's any good anymore anyway, but there was a journalist who was fired for giving a bad review to Hootie and the Blowfish.
What?
And yeah, and he was a guy who wrote for Rolling Stone for a long amount of time. And I love it. They interviewed the guy and they said, like, why is it because he's such a huge Hootie and the Blowfish fan? And he basically said Jan's a fan of anybody who sells 8 million records. So it got to the point, which is funny because a band like Journey sold tons of records, but he didn't deem them worthy. But as he went on later, it's like, whatever, he'll sell the fucking magazine, I don't give a shit. So I love seeing it come back to this fucking asshole, and I love seeing. I mean, it doesn't matter. The guy's worth like $600 million.
Yeah,
he's not gonna. Yeah, he's not going to go broke. Okay, he's not going to be out on the streets because of this. But I love that he has kicked off the board, and I'm curious to see what that changes, if anything, for the better or worse for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I know none of us look at it like it's anything that that matters to us or we have to validate. But
it don't matter. But no matter what you think of the man, like what he did in the 70s to the early 80s, Ted Nugent more than deserves to be in there. I mean, his music was no different than Aerosmith and all these killer 70s rock bands, but it's his political agenda that keeps him out of the place, which is, if he was a bleeding heart liberal, he'd be in there.
Yeah. And that's the thing, as much as I detest Ted Nugent, I love his fucking music. And yes, he totally deserves it. And there's a lot of other artists that deserve it. And what I hate is, on the flip side of what he said, there's so many artists who get in there strictly because, of the color of their skin or because it's a politically correct thing, so it's such a fucking sham. I don't know if just him being removed is going to correct that, but it's still great to see it happen because now basically, I mean, again, he's not going to go broke, but he has no power. He doesn't work at Rolling Stone and now he's no longer on the board. We'll just have to watch and see if any real changes come to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I'm all for it. I'm love seeing a shithead like that go down in flames, even if I don't agree with, the cancel culture shit. What he said was fucked up and he deserves everything he gets.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Sometimes cancel culture is good. Like when it happens to Jan Winter and Sharon Osbourne. That's when I'm like, yeah, stay woke. Yeah, fuck yeah. Cancel culture rules when it comes to those two jackasses.
Right, but
sorry. Well, let me fill my glass. I can still hear you while I go to you.
What I would say with that is it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of like a free speech thing. Everybody's for free speech when you agree with it, but it's hard to stay with free speech when it's something you're totally against. So fuck it. As much as I think being canceled stupid, hey, as long as people are getting canceled, yeah, I think it's funny it happens to a douchebag like that. Let's see. Max and Igor Cavalera are out on tour right now as Cavalera, not the Cavalera Conspiracy, but just Cavalera. And they're performing songs from Morbid Devastation and what the fuck's the other one? Shit, let me click on the fucking story because Ralph's not here to help me out. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions. I think they're pretty good. I listened to them. I think I talked about this on a previous episode. I think it sounds good with modern production and shit like that. Much better than the originals. Way too raw for me. I mean, I'm sure there's like some fucking metalheads like, oh yeah, it should sound like it was recorded in a tin can, but I think it sounds much better the way it is now. Even though I wish it was with the original guys and not just the two Cavaleras, but I'll take it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I saw the Cavalera Conspiracy not too long ago, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, and that's another band that I think Soulfly. a lot of people hated those first, I would say at least the first 3 albums were very nu metal. But after that, he really went to old school thrash, man. And a lot of those Soulfly albums are amazing, especially the ones with Marco Rizzo on guitar. That dude's a fucking beast. But the damage was already done. He was already seen as like, hip hop nu metal boy. So a lot of people won't give it a chance. I think it's unfair, but I also think the same thing about Sepultura with Derek Green. The first couple albums, even though I enjoy them, there's a lot of nu metal shit. But you listen to the newer ones, it's straight up fucking thrash, but nobody will give it a chance because it's not Max. All right. Well, something that has to do with our episode today, Judas Priest. Tim Ripper Owens believes there should be a special concert featuring current and former members. I bet he does. I bet he does.
Paycheck will be nice.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, when we were originally, we thought we were doing Sad Wings of Destiny, I got done early doing my notes and everything. And I was like, you know what? Let me listen to some fucking Ripper shit. And I knew better than to give Domination another chance. I'm like, let me give Jugulator another chance. And I definitely like it more than you, Ralph. It's not on par with the other shit, but man, I think it's kind of heavy. And I like Ripper, but I haven't heard too much after that I care about. And he's been very vocal about, Priest should be playing songs from his era, particularly when, they're doing the 50th anniversary tour. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like they should acknowledge that era, or are you totally fine with them just doing the Rob Halford shit?
I'm fine with them doing the Rob Halford shit, but as far as like, they should release Jugulator and Demolition, to the people that like it.
Right.
They shouldn't avoid the albums, but yeah, they should avoid playing that live because Judas Priest is so much superior with Rob Halford over any of those 2 albums. I don't care what songs are on any of those 2 albums. Rob Halford can't sing Cathedral Spires and shit like that. So it's better that they do avoid the Ripper era, but they should release those for the Ripper era fans out there. And there's quite a few.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it was very fucking expensive. But if you bought the 50th anniversary box set, it did include all the Ripper albums.
On vinyl?
I don't know if that box set was even released on vinyl. Because I mean, it was like a 32 disc set. Actually, I just got done loading it in my iTunes today, and I had to like number everything because I wanted to put it in one collection. 422 fucking songs that had to go in there in iTunes and fucking like number everything and shit. But both Ripper studio albums were in there, both Ripper live albums were in there. So if you bought it, like, again, I don't know if there was a vinyl version. There could be, but I know the CD version, you could get those. But I thought in this article that Ripper brought up a good point. I think it would be awesome to see Halford sing some of those songs and see how they translate, because I was a much bigger fan, when Maiden got back together, and Steve Harris, his ego, they had to do the Blaze shit with fucking Dickinson. And to Dickinson's credit, he did it, and I think those songs sound a fucking gazillion times better with Dickinson. When he does Klansman, or what's the one he does off of X Factor?
Sign of the Cross.
Sign of the Cross. I could actually appreciate those songs where I couldn't with Blaze, so I would like to hear his take on something like that. Now, maybe he can't do Cathedral Spires, but I would love to hear him try Bullet Train or something. But I think it strictly comes down to, Halford just like, no, I ain't going to do it. Just like Vince is never going to do fucking, anything off of 94. So
that'd be even worse than Halford trying to do it.
That'd be bad. Stripers, Michael Sweet says, tuning down has helped me a lot to get through sets. And I gotta say, I think Striper sucks donkey, but I love that he's transparent with that and admits that, he's gotten older and had issues, and he doesn't try to hide the fact. And a lot of bands do it, but not a lot of bands talk about it. So I give him props for that. And you've seen him recently. How do you think he sounds? Do the songs still sound good? Like drop down a little bit, or are you left disappointed on some of the?
I'm really bad at noticing if bands played, tuned down or whatever.
Right.
Which just a side note, there was a time where my band tuned high, and I didn't even notice, but I sang higher the whole set. My voice was like, God damn, that was a hard set to do, not knowing that they were playing higher. And I had to sing. I didn't even notice, But anyway, going back to when I saw Striper like a year or two ago, they were great. I don't know if they were playing lower. They must have. The one thing I can say is that Michael Sweet wasn't hitting the highs every time.
No.
But it still sounded good. But then when he would hit the high, it was, whoa, the guy can still do it,
Yeah.
He just can't do it all night. So yeah, they were great. Striper was awesome. They played really good, and Michael hit some high notes, and sometimes he didn't.
Okay. All right. Well, next story, going back to a band we already talked about, Mudvayne. Chad Gray celebrates 2 years of sobriety. And
I don't think we've ever talked more about Mudvayne than we have on this show.
I know, but I'm sorry, I can't stand this. Celebrate your years of fucking sobriety. That's like, I haven't beat my wife since the last time I hit her. Who gives a shit?
I am ashamed of my sobriety that I don't talk about it. And that
exactly.
That is a very sad day, the day that I became sober. It's a day that I don't want to think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you shouldn't be proud of shit like that. Like, hey, I can't hold my liquor. I haven't been able to hold my liquor for 2 years. Who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, in the Mudvayne guy's defense, he ain't no Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
That guy every 10 minutes has to talk about his sobriety. His fake sobriety. I'm sure Mudvayne, the guy actually got loaded.
Yeah, but the guy from Mudvayne never died.
The only needle
was brought back to life.
The only needle that Nikki Sixx ever had of him was one of his male groupies putting his needle up his ass. Fuck, I can't stand Nikki Sixx. I can't stand him. You know, this is a future story that's going to be on my Almost Human thing. He came out and said, Warrant and Poison, they played music that just killed them. And I'm thinking, listen to the album Dr. Feelgood and tell me if that's any more different than what Poison and Warrant were doing at that same time, by the way.
Listen to Time for a Change, you piece of shit.
Cherry Pie, Open Up and Say Ah, and Dr. Feelgood all sound like the same fucking album.
Yeah. I actually like fucking some of that shit better than Motley Crue. They fucking suck.
Dr. Feelgood is so bad.
Yeah. Horrible album. She goes down. She goes down, down, down. How is that different than Poison?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
Worse.
Yeah, exactly.
At least Poison says take it outside and do some funny shit. These idiots think they're serious.
All right. Well, next story. Megadeth plays third concert with new touring guitarist Timu Mantaisari. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm kind of surprised when I first saw this, announcement that fucking Cuckoo or Kiku or whatever the fuck his name is.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo. Wasn't playing the tour. I kind of thought they might get Marty, at these Marty appearances. But probably Megadeth doesn't have the money to get him to come back. But I'm kind of curious, like where it goes from here. You're seeing all these interviews where he's talking about how special it was to play with Marty and all this shit. I'm wondering what the long-term solution is going to be, or if Cuckoo's going to come back. What do you think?
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
You know what? And I just recently saw Megadeth. It's all right. It's not, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it's my age, but that last Megadeth album, yeah, it had its moments. It's fast, it's raw, but it comes and goes. Dystopia, same thing. It was good, but then I just stopped listening to it. And whenever I listen to Megadeth, it's Peace Cells. That's my go-to album. That shit will never be touched by any other band because that was a band with insane musicians on heroin. And you can't do that no more. You get Gar Samuelson smacked out and Chris Poland stealing amps to get heroin. That was the band they had back then, man. And they were fucking awesome. Never, ever. And I'm so happy that I got to see Megadeth that lineup 2 nights on the Peace Cells tour. They played 2 nights. So happy I got to see it. That band was insane. The speed, precision. By so far, so good, so what? They were a little too fucked up at that show, And then they got sobered up, and Rust in Peace was great and all, but go back to the drugs, man, which you can't go back to because the drummer's dead, But if they had that fucking lineup back, get them in a room, shoot them up with fucking smack, and make them write an album, man. That is Megadeth to me. And everything after is a pale comparison. Even Rust in Peace. I know many claim it's their best album. A little too polished, but I will say I do love the album. But give me Killing Is My Business and Peace Cells over that any day. Thank you.
Yeah. Nah, you're lucky, man. I unfortunately I missed the Peace Cells lineup by 1 day. I saw the first date where Tesla took over, opening up for Alice Cooper, so I didn't get to see him until it was the Rust in Peace lineup, but it was actually like the tour for Countdown, but it was before Countdown came out, I believe. Because they still had like even the drum set and everything. It was still like the backdrop. Everything was still Rust in Peace. They didn't have like the new shit yet. So, and yeah, they're one of the most horrible bands live set wise. I think if you're a Megadeth,
the last time I saw them, the set list was a drag.
Yeah,
Holy Wars and Tornado Souls was like the highlight. They didn't do Wake Up Dead. They didn't do nothing for except Peace Cells. I'm sick of Hangar 18. They open with that. I never really liked that. I like the way that song ends with Marty and Dave going back and forth. But everything before that sounds a little too Offspring. The Offspring. It's like, you got to keep them separated. Yeah, not my shit, man. I love Holy War. That's like, actually, Peace Cells is my favorite album, but Holy War to me is the best Megadeth song ever. That song owns. So I love seeing them do that. What else did they play? But then they play like Sweating Bullets, Symphony of Destruction, Trust. I hate that fucking song. They did Trust. That shit sucked.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's been a show since that song's come out that they haven't done it because it was a fucking radio hit. And the other one that they keep doing now, and I know you like it, and I don't get it, is fucking She-Wolf, which I think that song.
They didn't do that.
No, well, I think this is the first tour since it's came out that they haven't done it, and I'm like, really? That's the deep track you bring out? Yeah, fuck them. All right, well, a band we do love, Thin Lizzy, is putting out a 50th anniversary super deluxe edition of Vagabonds of the Western World.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, and it's fucking stacked.
I gotta get that.
It's let me look and see here what they got. I think it's, let's see how many CDs. It's a 3 CD set with a Blu-ray, and I'm not sure how many vinyls, but a lot of shit with it. So that's awesome. Not my favorite Thin Lizzy, but it is a good Thin Lizzy. What's that?
It's not my favorite either, but it's good.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's the one, Whiskey in the Jar, which I don't think was like originally.
No, it's not on that album. It was a single.
Right, a single around that time. But no, it's a Hero and the Madman is a classic track. The one I'm really, I would love a deluxe edition of Johnny the Fox.
Oh yeah,
that would be fucking amazing. But no, I think it's awesome. Anytime you get more Thin Lizzy, I'm all for that.
Yeah, Thin Lizzy. Really, my least favorite Thin Lizzy is Chinatown. If they release a box set of Chinatown, I'm buying it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm the same way.
I'm not like Chinatown. Great album. Yeah. Couple good songs. Like I can name like three songs on there I like. The rest are kind of like throwaways.
Yeah.
But people love that album, man. People love it more than Renegade, which was the same lineup. Man, Renegade is like my second favorite Thin Lizzy album of all.
Oh yeah, I love Renegade.
Renegade is so underrated. Chinatown is more liked, and I think it has a lot to do with that album cover.
I tell you, the one that people like usually say is their favorite, and there's songs that I like, but overall, Black Rose. I'm not the hugest Black Rose fan.
That's my favorite. My favorite.
Yeah. Not my. I'll take Bad Reputation over that. I'll take Johnny the Fox. I'll take Jailbreak. I'd take Renegade over that. I'd take Thunder and Lightning over it. But there's some good shit on it. I just don't, the title track that everybody loves. I'm like, eh. But then again, I don't like Emerald either, and everybody loves that fucking song. So I'm a self-hating Irishman.
I gotta give it up from Black Roses on that.
My favorite song on Black Roses is probably Sarah. Love it. Yeah.
I mean, it's all right, but
I love it.
It's a little pussy ballad. I'm surprised you like it.
Yeah. No,
I have nothing bad to say about it, but got to give it up. Waiting for an Alibi.
Yeah, I like those. I can't stand the title track though. Can't stand Black Rose, the song.
With Love is an awesome song. Toughest Street in Town. Dude, that whole album, I think every song on there is a winner.
Yeah.
John Winter hates that album.
All right. Well, here's something I think everybody can agree upon. Richie Sambora says there's a demand for his return to Bon Jovi.
There's a demand for his voice in Bon Jovi. John can't sing no more.
Oh, yeah, that shit's bad. That shit. I wish people would give like John Bon Jovi as much shit as they give Dave for not, or Vince Neil for not singing. Come on. Anybody who heard clips of that last Bon Jovi tour, woo!
It's the funniest shit ever, Ian. I don't know if you saw this, but a couple months ago, they got footage of Vince Neil lip syncing. And
yeah?
Wait a second. That's a tape? Couldn't they get a better tape? I swear they busted Vince Neil singing that horrible voice. That horrible voice. People are goofing on Vince Neil. No, actually, it's the tape. It's making Vince look bad. It's crazy because you think about this. Vince Neil is out there touring stadiums with Motley Crue. The second they get off the stage, they get off the road for a little bit, there's Vince Neil playing some solo show somewhere. And Vince Neil makes, I shit you not, I saw this, $40,000 a gig alone.
Good for him. Good for him.
$40,000 a gig.
He's underpaid. He is underpaid. I want to see Vince Neil make $1 million a show, because that's what people who pay to go see that deserve. They should be paying twice the ticket price for that county fair to go see Vince Neil, because if that's what you'll spend your money on, you fucking deserve to get fucked right up the fucking ass. Sorry, Dick Twakin. Sorry, Johnny Vogan. You guys deserve that shit. Even the great great fucking Charlie. God damn it. Charlie Hill. He paid to go see that fucking shit. I'm sorry. I don't deserve all the shit you bought me, and Ralph doesn't deserve all the shit you bought him, but you deserve to go bankrupt paying money to go see Vince Neil these days.
Charlie Hill just saw Guns N' Roses yesterday. He sent me video on the phone.
Poor bastard.
He went to the Hollywood Hard Rock to see them.
Oh,
that wasn't cheap. I don't know. Maybe Charlie got a break, but I remember looking at tickets because I would go see Guns N' Roses for like $30. Why not? You know, $30 would be okay. But they were asking for $800, $900. I was like,
yeah. Perhaps I wouldn't pay that. That fucking shit.
Yeah, they're playing Perhaps on the show. They should.
Oh God.
They should knock money off the tickets for them playing.
yeah. You should get a discount because they're playing Perhaps. Oh, that shit's terrible. That shit sound like it was off of Sonic Boom. That's fucking horrible. Oh my God. Culture Club's Boy George attended a Napalm Death concert in Australia and said his ears are still ringing.
Yeah, I saw the article. He did like them though.
Yeah, which further proves my point that Napalm Death are gay.
Napalm Death are awesome, dude.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I need to hear more. I heard a couple songs. I'm like, no.
Well, I got to be honest. I'm a Napalm Death poser because I'm not into the Rico Puka faction. No, I'm sorry, that's Carcass. But I'm not into that early Napalm Death where it's like that grindcore shit.
Yeah.
You know, I opened for Napalm Death. And, you know, there's a very cult band from down here called Hellwitch. Hellwitch goes all the way back to the first time I ever saw Hellwitch. They opened for Anthrax on the Spreading the Disease tour. That's the first time I ever heard about this band. This band is still around today. Well, they played with us and Napalm Death. It was Napalm Death, Hellwitch, and Thrasher Die. And Barney, singer of Napalm Death, goes up on stage going, I can't believe I'm sharing the stage with Hellwitch. It was like he was aware of Hellwitch. He thought Hellwitch was godly.
Yeah,
I thought
he should have thanked you. He should have thanked you.
Well, Hellwitch.
And plus, I'm also convinced that Napalm Death and Carcass are the same shit band.
I can't get that core grind stuff, and that they both started that same way. And like I liked Carcass with Heartwork, and all my band members were like, "You're gay, you're gay." It's like it's all about Rika Fuka faction. And all. I was like, dude, that shit's just noise to me. Even though Heartwork is not actually mellow or anything, it's pretty dirty and heavy, but it's nothing like that shit they did.
I don't know. To me, that's just some poser shit. That's like, I'm so hardcore I can listen to this complete fucking noise. That's what it sounds like to me. Sorry, maybe I'm a fucking poser.
Dude, I'm telling you, my old band, like Willie, he's into this band called Beherit.
Yeah.
You probably never heard of Beherit. Dude, this band is so fucking horrible. I mean, they make fucking Napalm Death and Carcass sound like fucking, like Green Day. It's like they are so bad. And what's even more bizarre about this band, it's like Willie's into Beherit, and every time he plays Beherit, I'm like, well, Beherit became a techno band.
Yeah.
Just disgusting metal to all the one to fucking the ultimate sellout. You be a techno fan. Willie liked that shit too. I was like, dude, that's what the fuck, man. That's so weird, man. They both don't sound anything alike. Anyway, Beherit sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not a ringing endorsement. I mean, I know Willie, and he's into shit that's not even legal in the Dominican Republic. So, no, I'll pass. I'd rather spend $18 million on Foreigner on their farewell tour.
You saw? I did.
I did see your video on that, and that's kind of crazy. I mean, the crazy thing is, I don't even know is $18 million good on a tour nowadays?
I think so. For a band that has no original members, I think that's fucking like the most successful cover band in the history of the world.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm thinking is like how much that money does Scab Foreigner see, or does this all go in Mick Jones' pocket?
Yeah,
You know?
you know what, you could have a point there, but you eliminate all that shit. A cover band made
Yeah.
it made 18 million on the first leg. It still got another leg to go.
Yeah. And I saw Fake Foreigner. And to tell you the truth, I was so drunk. I don't know if Mick Jones was at the show I was at or not. I want to say he was, but I'm not 100%. And if he was, it might have been like one or two songs. I liked it. You know, it was a cover band. They played the songs I wanted to hear. You know, they had a good saxophone player for Urgent, so I was happy. You know, but yeah, I mean, it is a cover band, but that shows you how hard up, you know, people are right now. Like they'll spend all that money to go see that.
It's not
You
that
know,
people are hard up. People are clueless. You know
yeah,
how many people go see a Foreigner show and they think they're looking at all original members? They don't know
yeah, true.
who is, you know? It's just like Kiss. Dude, I'm telling you, like there's this story I heard on some Kiss podcast that this dude went to a Kiss show. And the guy sitting next to him, they got to talking, and the guy sitting next to him said, "Dude, I met Ace Frehley." Yeah, takes out his phone, shows up a picture of him with Tommy Thayer. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
love that.
yeah, but that shows you the type of people that go see Kiss think they're looking at Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. And on top of that, they don't even know their names. They don't even know, they probably know Gene's name, but they don't know Paul, Ace, and Peter. But they know in that makeup that must be them. You know?
Yeah. They probably say Ace played on Creatures of the Night because he's on the album cover.
Yeah, exactly. No, but then later on they rectified and put Bruce on the cover.
Yeah, I know that's a fight. I was just gonna say, and then there's another guy who fights with him. No, the cover I had Bruce. Bruce played on that.
Bruce is overrated.
What's that?
Bruce is overrated.
Well, he did play the greatest, Kiss guitar solo ever on Tears Are Falling. But...
yeah, it was very impressive how he did that solo coming out of water.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
All right, next story. Now, here's a song I saw a lot of hate for.
Keep talking. I'm going to throw my glass.
Okay. A song I heard a lot of hate for online, and I didn't hate it. I had some issues with the production, and it doesn't surprise me when I found out how the producer was. But the Stones released the single "Angry" off their new, soon-to-be released Hackney Diamonds. I thought it was all right. I saw a post. Somebody's like, "Yeah, it sounds like all the shit they put out since Steel Wheels," and I kind of get that, but I didn't think it was offensive. I saw Eddie Canistracci. Can we say Eddie Canistracci? I don't know. I'm saying Eddie Canistracci. He hated it. I didn't hate it. Wasn't fantastic. You can tell like Charlie's missing, and it was a little bit too polished production. I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot of it. Andrew Watt, he did those last two fucking Ozzy horrible fucking albums that I thought sounded like shit. But he also did the last Iggy Pop album, which I thought was pretty good. I mean, it was more of a commercial Iggy album, but I didn't think the production was horrible. I thought much better than the other shit that I've heard that Andrew Watts produced. I love Andrew Watts' guitar playing on California Breed. I think that's a lost classic people need to check out. Glenn Hughes and Jason Bonham. And I thought his guitar playing was really good on that. But now he's like a pop producer, and he's like the new Rick Rubin almost, like the In Demand. But sterile production, but not a horrible song. We'll see what the rest of the album sounds like. A lot of people bitching about, guests on the album. I don't know. I'll just have to listen to it. I'm glad Bill Wyman's on it. I'm glad Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are on
Bill
it.
Wyman's on it?
Yeah, I believe at least one track, maybe two, Bill Wyman plays on. And I think I could be wrong, but I think at least one or two of them is the track where they're actually using Charlie Watts drumming too, which would be great. Yeah, I think I saw the press conference and they said that, four of the original members are on this track, not counting
Ryan Jones.
Ronnie Wood. But yeah, Paul McCartney's on it, Ringo's on it, but I don't believe they are on the same song, which is that does suck. Lady Gaga, who, regardless of what I think about her pop music, I think does have a good voice. Stevie Wonder's on it. I think that's awesome. And Elton John's on it, which is funny because, there's been historical war words between Elton John and Keith Richards. So that's kind of cool. But I'm sure, like, if Elton's on it, it's just like playing piano. But, I'm cool with that. I'll say my reservations for when I hear the record. I thought the last one that they put out, the last studio album of original material, Bigger Bang, I thought it was a solid album. Yeah, it was way too long. But I thought it was their best since, Voodoo Lounge or maybe Undercover.
I'll tell you, one of the greatest Rolling Stones songs ever is a recent one. Well, recent, like the last 20 years. Was one of those greatest hit song called Doom and Gloom.
Yeah, I like that one.
That song's one of my all-time favorite Rolling Stones songs, and it's very late in their career. But that's awesome. The video's awesome too, because there's shits walking around. And you can see it on YouTube.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I liked it.
And I like this new one. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I was like, there ain't nothing wrong with this song.
I didn't hate. I love the video. I thought the video was really neat.
The video was awesome with the billboards and shit.
Yeah. No, I dug it.
I thought the song was rocking.
But what did you like more, the new Stones song or the new solo single from Derek Smalls?
I haven't heard of it.
Must Crush Barbie.
I haven't heard
it. It was I love Spinal Tap.
But that last thing he did solo wasn't that good.
Yeah, this is on par with that. It's not that great. It's not that funny. I wish, they were all involved, but I don't know how funny they'll be.
Wait, wasn't there supposed to be a sequel?
Yeah, there's a new movie coming out. I don't know the status on that. I don't know if it actually started filming or if that's all fucked up because of the writers and actors strike. They didn't really say anything in the new, in the article on the song about that. But we'll see. Hope for the best. Expect the worst.
I have a movie review.
Yeah.
My niece got free tickets to go see this movie called The Haunting of Venice, I think.
Yeah, that's the new Agatha Christie, Kenneth,
with Tina Fey.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it, though it's not the type of movie I would like. It's one of those murder mystery movies.
Yeah, it's based on Agatha Christie.
Yeah, and it was, it was all right. But anybody into murder mystery, I think, would really like it more than
my wife loves those. This is the third one that Kenneth Branagh has done, playing Hercule Poirot or whatever. He did a remake of Murder on the Orient Express and what was the other one? Death in the Nile. But I'll check it out.
It was all right.
But I'm going to take a hot steaming piss. You keep everybody company, and then I got really good news when we get back.
All right, I'll keep talking.
All right.
So I won't have to edit this show. So as you can see, we're doing the video. Well, those that are on Podbeam, as you can hear, I'm going to keep talking while Ian takes a piss break, where in the past I would just edit that out. But I've become very lazy, and with good reason, because editing these shows I've been doing for 8 years or something? It's like, man, I don't want to edit no more. On the Podbean version, you'll hear music under me. On this version on YouTube, you won't because of copyright stuff. We play music under us, and they'll ban the video, or just restrict it. Bunch of hoo-ha. So this is fun for those that just tuning in. Well, what are you doing tuning in so late in the show? You probably heard everything we said before about the Patreon. I really hope you people join us next Saturday. It'll be a hoot, man. And I'll have a review because I'm going to go see Glenn Hughes next Friday. Glenn Hughes and Ingve. I'm going to go see that. I'm so excited. One of my favorite bands that I've never ever seen before is playing this little bar that I go to see a cover band made of metal. The band Satan is coming. And I freaked out. I was like, what? Satan is playing pipers? Oh, I'm so there. So there you go. All right, I just talked all the time, so I don't have to fucking edit this show.
All right, good for you. All right, Satan. Good news I got. Motorhead is putting out a 40th anniversary deluxe reissue of Another Perfect Day.
Hell yeah. Now, I want to say before you get into this,
okay,
all the songs on there I own. I have a Motorhead box set called Meltdown.
Yeah.
It's a CD box set with this really unattractive girl on the cover. I don't know why they hired her on the cover. But I saw the track listing. All those live songs are on that box set. But, dude, that show they did with Robbo is awesome. And they're putting it out on vinyl on this version. So it's like, dude, I need to get it, So, Robbo is infamous of not wanting to play. For some reason, like, he liked Iron Fist, I guess. Because they didn't play nothing before Iron Fist. They played Chase is Better Than the Catch. But they don't play Ace of Spades and, a lot of the classic We Are the Road Crew, none of that. When Robbo was in the band, it was all Another Perfect Day stuff and, scattered Iron Fist stuff. But, I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy this is coming out. I bought the Iron Fist box set.
Right. Well, what I like about it is I found this with a lot of reissues lately is when they add live shows, there's shows that I've had bootlegs of, but the quality is so much better. They've cleaned it up. It's much, crisper sounding.
It's like those Black Sabbath box sets. Those.
Oh yeah.
They clean up those live shows.
Yeah, a lot of those Black Sabbaths. After I got those, I went through. It's like, I have a bootleg of this show. And after I heard the one that's on the deluxe, I deleted the other one that I had. Like, why? Why keep that shit quality? That's something I've kind of, really scaled back on. I used to get like a ton of bootlegs, and without even listening to them, I'm just like, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. And then when I'd go and listen to it, it's like, I would never listen to this shit. It's like, I felt like a hoarder. Like, why do I have this just to have it? The sound quality is shit. I would never just sit down and listen to something that sounded this shitty. So yeah, I'm excited to hear it. The only thing I didn't like is I saw like all the merch they had for this new 40th anniversary, and they've got a shirt, which to me, that's one of the best album covers they ever did. Was Another Perfect Day. But I don't know if you saw the t-shirt that you can get with it. Looks terrible. It looks so like pixelated and like looks nothing to me like the album cover. I was really disappointed in that because I'd love to have Another Perfect Day t-shirt, but the one they put out, it looks like fucking ass.
You ever notice what's coming out of the mouth of Another Perfect Day album cover?
I'd have to look. I mean, I know Sacrifice has the ding dong for the tongue.
So this is Another Perfect Day.
Let me look.
Both albums have ding dongs. I believe Sacrifice has like a dog's dick.
Yeah, well, this one I'm looking at it right now, and I don't know if I ever noticed this in this shape. It looks like
it's one dick. right?
Okay, well, maybe they changed it for this one because it looks like two dicks, but not
Yeah,
dicks. It almost looks like two clits.
yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know.
then that's the one that has.
Or,
It's
or
like,
it does kind of look like two dogs' dicks because you kind of
yeah,
see like
that's what
some
it is.
trim.
Two dogs
Okay.
on that and sacrifices to one penis.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a fucking joke. Two dog dicks, one penis. Walk into a bar. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. That's one of those things. You know, a lot of bands do this reissue shit, and they really offer nothing new. They put that it's remastered on there, but you're hard pressed to tell like difference. Maybe it's just like cleaned up. Sometimes it's cleaned up too much. So I'm hoping it's kick ass. Another one, we'll see how it sounds. Led Zeppelin 4 is coming out on crystal clear vinyl for Atlantic's 75th anniversary.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I believe it's a 180 gram reissue, which is awesome. But I'll tell you what, as far as like people who are into vinyl and stuff like that and all these remasters, if you want something that I really think makes a difference, and I don't know if you've seen this route where they talk about it being like a half speed remaster.
Yeah, I have a couple of those.
Yeah, I think that's where you really see the difference, even more than the 180 gram. I mean, what I love about the 180 grams, much thicker. I think you're going to get longer life out of it. Sometimes you notice, a better sound quality on some more than others. But those half speed masters, that's where I really tell the difference. And I don't believe this is one of those. But fuck it, it looks good, and it's Zeppelin 4.
Zeppelin 4 is a masterpiece.
Love it. Not my favorite, but I love it.
4 stinks.
Yeah, I love that.
Battle of Evermore. What a great album.
Yeah, it's a good one.
When the levee breaks, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin is one of those bands that deserve the praise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whoever says Led Zeppelin is overrated should be castrated.
But funny, whenever I think of Led Zeppelin 4, I think about my friend Mark, who was in the Army Reserves. And in the early 90s, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Iowa or Ohio, but they had horrible flooding, and they sent the National Guard, and he was sent there for that. And he said every time they would go into a bar, somebody was always playing When the Levee Breaks. And he was saying he could never listen to that song again because like every fucking day when you went to the bar. And the funny thing is, I heard a lot of people say the same thing in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. You go into a bar, everybody was playing Refugee from Tom Petty. Like I could never hear that fucking song again. And I didn't understand it at the time till I got burned out on Zeppelin in the mid 90s from classic rock radio, and I went years without listening to Led Zeppelin. But I mean, they're amazing songs, but I get the burnout factor. And I think that's what it is with 4. As much as I love it, I appreciate it more when I listen to it as an album. I appreciate Zeppelin as a whole more when I listen to an album than individual tracks.
They're meant to be listened to album wise.
Oh yeah. I mean, every station's, since the 80s has had to get the lead out. And it kind of killed a lot, but can't take it away. It's a landmark fucking album. All right, well, some sad news for Flotsam and Jetsam fans, and we talked about this on your live stream this past Thursday. Canceled due to poor ticket sales. And I think that's just common sense. I think that was kind of a bad lineup for Flotsam and Jetsam. I really don't think at this point in their career they can do a headline tour, and I mean no offense to Flotsam and Jetsam or to their fans, but I just don't think the draw is there. I mean, they've always been a niche band that 90% of the people who even know about them would not know about them, other than that's the fact that that's where Jason Newsted came from, and shit like that. And it is hard these days with the touring costs and everything for these bands, and they get fucked over on their t-shirt sales and stuff like that. But I think Flotsam needs to be part of a bigger thrash lineup where they're not the headliners. And again, I mean that as no offense. I'm just being real. I think they would do much better if they were on a tour with like an Overkill or something like that. But
I think the last two Flotsam albums are the best thing they've done since the first two Flotsam albums.
Oh yeah, and I'm not,
man, the Blood in the Water. It's a shame people don't know that album.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and by saying this, I mean nothing disparaging against the band or their music.
Yeah, nobody knows about how awesome.
Yeah, it's just the reality of it.
Flotsam was here maybe 3-4 years ago. Now they came with Warbringer, and it was pretty packed. I mean, I wouldn't say packed, but it was a decent amount of people showed up for that. So if they would go on tour with like a Warbringer or Forbidden, something like that, that would bring more interest.
Yeah.
But all the things that were on I don't know none of them.
But I think they need to be even on a more marquee tour than that. I think they really need to be on with like an Exodus or a Testament or something like that.
Well, yeah, the opening. I'm talking about they had with Warbringer, and they did okay.
Right.
So, because Warbringer is a name band, so a lot of people showed up for Warbringer and hung out for Flotsam. That's what they need to do is bring out, some great, like there is a market for bands like Evil, and there's a lot of thrash that would do well. I mean, I'm not talking sellout tour, but they would do well in a lot of markets. Because if Flotsam and Jetsam and Warbringer do well in South Florida, then Jesus Christ, they must be doing phenomenal out of here, because this is a trendy ass state,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the current tour that they were on, I believe it was Flotsam headlining, Skid Row with their new singer and a puppet show. So, with that lineup.
Skid Row, I saw Skid Row not too long ago, and that was packed. They were with Buck Cherry, but it was a packed show.
Yeah, and I bet you they were there for Buck Cherry. I bet you it was a bunch of drunk white girls that wanted to hear Crazy Bitch.
I was outside during Buck Cherry.
But that's the next story, because new on the Death Watch is the new singer for Skid Row. Man, Skid Row is, boy, talk about the trouble they've had on this latest tour. You had I think it was Snake who went out with COVID. You had Rachel Bolan. I think they had to postpone shows because of him.
They didn't postpone it. They still played it without him.
Oh, something like that. Well, anyway, it's been fucking plagued. But now this news story is for concerns for singer Eric Gronwall. I don't know how you fucking pronounce that, for his health and well-being. And he has I think he had leukemia or something like this. And I'm not saying this to joke. I don't wish this guy death. I wish death on Sammy Hagar. More importantly, Sammy Hagar fans. So I don't wish anything bad for this guy, but that's not good news. A lot of times when you got diseases like this, they can go into remission and you're fine, but that shit creeps back. And I hope that's not the case, but goddamn, talk about a fucking a cursed fucking tour, and there's been rave reviews. You said the guy was incredible and stuff like that, and I take your word for it. I still think nobody gives a shit without Sebastian, and even what people are going to be excited about is when they play the Sebastian songs. I think anybody gives a rat's ass. I mean, I know you like them, but about the new shit, the masses don't give a shit.
Yeah, I was bummed they didn't do a lot of new shit.
But probably the only person happy about this is Sebastian. That motherfucker's like good.
Oh no, Sebastian is like, I hope he dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember when Johnny Solinger died? and some guy put a picture of Sebastian Bach as Johnny Silver, and Sebastian Bach didn't say rest in peace. It's sad that he died. He just came out like bashing some website for putting a picture of him when Johnny Silver died. What a prick! What a prick!
That was pretty bad. Every once in a while, as much as I love Sebastian's voice and everything, he'll do that shit like, okay, I get it. I see why they won't take him back. And that was definitely like a dick move. But speaking of dicks, but I wish the guy a speedy recovery. I hope it's not the leukemia back. Seems like a nice kid. I just couldn't.
I met him. I met him.
Yeah, nice guy.
Fucking super nice guy. And we were talking about Judas Priest, and then Rachel Bolin came up to me going, I worship that album. I was wearing a Aerosmith rock shirt. And he was super nice to me too. And so was Scotty Hill, man. And the drummer, man. They were all nice. They were all nice.
Yeah. Didn't Rachel say, isn't that the one with Living on the Edge on it?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said that. I go, no, man.
You're like,
it's the one with Ragdoll.
Yeah. And then you ripped his fucking nose ring out and called him a poser. I love that. Got to write a song about that. Speaking of something, like I didn't think this band could annoy me more, even though I like maybe one or two songs, but god damn, do they just rub me the wrong way. Certain members in particular, but Pearl Jam is just about finished with a new album. But most importantly, what really, chapped my fucking ass is Jeff Ament, their bass player, came out talking shit about my Lord and Savior, David Lee Roth, and basically said he cannot stand people like David Lee Roth, and hates when bands have singers like David Lee Roth. He goes, that shit's so fake to me. The musicians I love don't look at the audience or talk to the audience. They look down. Some people call it shoegaze, but they're into the music. And that's how I have to be when I perform. Anything else is fake,
That guy is not fun at parties.
Yeah. And he's been a bitch, like, since they've been doing interviews. I remember him bitching about, I know you're not a huge fan, but Stone Temple Pilots. But he was bitching about them, like, oh, they're saying shit to get cred, at the same, because they said they met at a Black Flag show. But at the same time, I was seeing Black Flag, I was seeing Iron Maiden, I'm legit, they're not legit. It's like, who the fuck are you? You're in fucking Pearl Jam. They have songs like fucking Daughter,
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, that song fucking sucks.
Call me daughter.
Oh god, that is some pussy. That is some fucking pussy shit.
Oh, I love that. Violins. Oh, big ass pussy, Ian. I really, after Vitology, I kind of like gave up. Like, I don't really listen to much Pearl Jam, but when they were fighting Ticketmaster, that was cool. I went to go see the stadium where they, this was not, a ticket was like this big. And this is when they were fighting Ticketmaster, and it was an awesome show. Thing about Pearl Jam is that Eddie Vedder is very, very mislabeled, because that guy is extremely energetic. Let me tell you, man, that show when they were one with Ticketmaster, the way he exited the stage, Eddie Vedder, was he grabbed an axe and he chopped the stage and he walked down the whole of the stage. I thought that was awesome. Who the fuck does that? And plus, like when I saw him back in Lollapalooza, he went all the way up on the scaffold and jumped in the audience. I mean, the guy's like very animated. I don't know. And everybody talks about, Eddie Vedder just stands there and looks in his shoes. No, that guy is very animated on stage. I just recently saw a clip of them doing Surrender by Cheap Trick. Good performance. It looked like they were all having fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a Pearl Jam hater.
Yeah. You want some cranberry juice? Sounds like you're on your fucking period.
Yeah, that, and don't call me daughter.
Oh god. Yeah, fuck him. Fucking, he wishes David Lee Roth front that band. Maybe somebody give a shit.
Oh yeah, there I disagree. David Lee Roth is miles better than Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. Yeah. Bunch of fucking hacky sack playing motherfuckers.
But then again, David Lee Roth.
I hate white people.
But then again, David Lee Roth is better than every frontman. Way better.
True that.
He's the best.
All right. Adrian Vandenberg says he was asked by Ozzy Osbourne to join his band 40 years ago. Man, would that have sucked?
I saw Vandenberg open for Ozzy. I love Vandenberg. He's a great guitar player.
I ain't heard anything that's done shit for me. I heard, I think the first Vandenberg didn't do nothing for me.
I love that.
And you know, the Whitesnake shit that he actually wrote and played on.
Yeah, that I don't care.
Yeah, didn't do shit for me either. I don't think he's dynamic enough for Ozzy. Ozzy needs somebody dynamic, you know, like a Randy or a Jake.
I think Vandenberg would have done good.
I don't know. Yeah, George Lynch would have been better.
Better than Joe Holmes.
Yeah. Technical, but no soul.
Ruben De La Rosa.
I love that guy.
Man, that guy praises Joe Holmes like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's the best Ozzy guitar player after Randy. Jeez, I think he even thinks he's better than Randy.
Oh boy.
Joe Holmes. The guy that wasn't even good enough to play on an Ozzy album.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh, Joe Holmes. All right. Well, this is a funny twist of irony that I fucking love. Is that Aerosmith had to postpone their tour because Steven Tyler's vocal cord damage. Now that's why, like, you know, Joey Kramer ain't good enough to make it, you know, at this age. But Steven Tyler supposedly can, and look what fucking happened.
They're playing my two favorite Aerosmith songs, and I've never seen them play either song.
Yeah, and I saw the set list, and granted, I did see the three songs the three shows they did do. They changed up a couple songs, still not enough to drag me out and make me pay what they're charging, man. Because this tour isn't fucking cheap, you know. And they're coming here. They're coming here to Seattle with the Black Crowes, who I fucking love. But I saw the set list the Black Crowes are doing, and I'm like, no, it's a greatest hits for the masses shit. The current lineup of Black Crowes, I'm not sold on. You know, they're playing a safe set. To me, Aerosmith, I mean, a couple of songs they threw out there, not enough to make me pay whatever. I saw them on the Pump tour. I'm fine with that. But I think there's a little bit of sweet justice here. You fuck over Joey Kramer and this happens. I'm kind of like, that's what you get, motherfucker.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think it's one of those situations where Joey just can't do it. But the fact that Joey just can't do it also means you shouldn't do it without Joey.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things that they're fucking over Joey. Joey wants to play. I don't think Joey can play. But neither should Aerosmith.
Yeah. It's done. It's done. They don't have a new album. This is just a fucking money grab, fucking nostalgia bullshit. I'm sick of these nostalgia fucking bands like Guns N' Roses. You got nothing new. You know?
I wish I could go to the Aerosmith show for free, and I'm going to say, look, just let me in to see No More, and Season of the Wither, and then I'll leave. I wish that was the situation. I would go for that, just to see those two songs, and then leave. Because, yeah, it's not Aerosmith without Joey Kramer. It's just not. You know? Joey Kramer is just as important as Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, in my opinion.
All right, well...
And Brad Woodford.
Yeah. All right, well, last story, unless you got anything else. Fuck, now I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. Let me go back here a little bit. Oh, yeah. How do you feel about AC/DC not playing with Phil Rudd at the Power Trip show?
It's a drag.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what I've seen a lot of speculation everything from he's off the wagon again to problems getting a visa. But yeah, to me, it's like, okay, it's hard enough without Malcolm there, and now you're not going to include Phil Rudd. I mean, that's the thing. I didn't love Power Up as much as you did, but at least I was glad that, Phil Rudd was part of it. I think at this stage in the game, you can't afford to lose any more fucking original members and still call yourself fucking AC/DC.
That's where you're wrong, Ian. Foreigner. I rest my case.
Yeah, true. The masses don't care, but I as an AC/DC fan.
Yeah, of course. It's a drag. I don't know if I'd go see them, to tell you the truth, without Phil Rudd.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, all right. Well, fuck that. I wish Phil Rudd was there. One more last story. That's it. Then I'm done unless you got something. But this is a reason we need to get your friend on the show, and he's my friend too, but only on Facebook. Bobby Gustafson has a new band.
Yeah,
called Pain Ward.
Pain Ward, yeah.
Pain Ward. So I think we need to get Bobby on the show to promote this shit.
Yeah, so, the drummer is a good friend of mine too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Who's that? Jim McCourt?
Yeah, Jim. Me and Jim go way back. Jim is the guy that got Bobby to play the solo on our cover of Hammerhead.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice. And former Massacre bassist Mike Borders. Okay, right on. I love Massacre.
Yeah. Hoping for the best. Yeah, Bobby sent me an invite to the band. I was like, ooh, cool.
All right. Well, we need to get on that. I'd love to talk to this guy, man. He seems like he seems like no bullshit,
Yeah, he's all right. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems like he'd be fun to roll with,
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, before my fucking iPods die here, and I know that happened during a live stream. My iPods died, and then when I went to switch headphones, we had issues. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But let's get to the album we finally decided we had to do because we had done our first two choices. That's how fucking old and senile we are. We are doing, in my opinion, spoiler alert, the finest, hands down, Judas Priest album. Their fourth album, 1978's Stained Class. Ooh, I was so glad you picked this one, Ralph. Man, and what's funny is when we were doing the Kiss episode on your YouTube page, I was just like, oh God, I'm so sick of fucking Kiss and acting like it fucking matters. We should be doing something like Priest and Stained Class, which to me, we were talking about, the solo albums coming out in 1978. You got this that came out in 1978, which makes all four of those sound like fucking Bay City Rollers, like obsolete.
And by the way, this album was released the same day as Van Halen 1.
Really? I did not know that.
Both came
February 10th, 1978?
Yeah. The day after my birthday.
Wow. Amazing.
Yep. Two albums come out that day.
Your birthday's February 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've already got you a birthday card for your birthday next year.
Thanks.
Yeah. My wife found it online. She goes, when's Ralph's birthday? And I'm like, fuck, I can't remember. She goes, well, I already got him a card. It's perfect for him. So I can't wait now. Now I know, February 9th. I've got you the perfect card.
You don't have to, tell me, but I have a weird speculation. The card says, faggot ass faggot.
Nope. Way off.
Wow.
Well, maybe not way off, but no, this is amazing. Man, and I guess I'll go. This is one I didn't discover for years. I mean, probably had to be mid-90s when I really listened to it as a whole. I mean, I knew certain songs off of it, but I don't think I listened to it all the way through till the mid-90s. But it grabbed me right away. I remember as an early Judas Priest fan, I came on board with Turbo, but because of my age.
Man,
Uh,
that's really sad.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I mean,
it's like the equivalent, Ian, of you meeting some guy going, "Yeah, I wasn't into Metallica until I heard Hero of the Day." You would.
yeah.
That's sad.
Oh no, I get it. I totally get it. But when I heard Turbo, though, I did go back and was buying their back catalog, and I bought everything that came out afterwards, like immediately when it came out. But I remember in eighth grade, I think the farthest I went, the oldest one I got was Unleashed in the East, and it took me a while to get into it. I fucking love it now. I mean, I think I love it more and more every year and appreciate it more and more every year. But it was hard for me to get into 70s Priest. And still to this day, I mean, the album we were going to do, Sad Wings of Destiny, until we found out we already did it, even though it's very beloved, is not my favorite by far. I would say the first two Priest albums would be at my bottom of all the 70s stuff. But it took me a while to really appreciate it. But now, and for probably the last, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so, this has been my favorite Judas Priest. I think I don't think they've ever topped this. I think it's groundbreaking. To me, this is where Priest really became Priest. There's a lot of people who say, Sad Wings is when they became Priest, or Sin After Sin. I think this is the one that really brought it all together.
But you know what, Ian? This is when I agree with you, but this was the end. Because Priest never sounded like this after this album.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It is the ultimate Judas Priest album. Now, this was my favorite album forever. I even did a review on YouTube claiming it's my favorite album ever. I did it I don't know, maybe 8 years ago. But it has since changed. Now I think Sad Wings is the greatest studio album, but Unleashed in the East is the greatest Priest album.
Right.
Period.
Right. I knew that was your favorite, but we're talking about studio albums here. But man, this is just, I don't know. I could go on and on about this. But listening to it today, even though I know this album, I still, before we review, I'd like to, listen to it and write notes and everything. And you were gracious enough to allow me the time to do it. But it was a fucking eargasm from the first note to the fucking last. This is Judas Priest, to me, and this is the peak of their powers. And there's plenty of other Priest albums that I like, but pound for pound, I don't know if there's one that comes close to this. You and I differ a lot on studio. I'm like, I prefer Screaming over British Steel. I prefer this over Sad Wings. So we differ, but we both love Judas Priest. But when did you get into this? I know your first one was Unleashed in the East, right?
Yeah, and I never went back on the back catalog till many years later, because then I bought British Steel, Point of Entry, and it was around Screamer for Vengeance. It was either then or between Screamer for Vengeance and Defenders was where I heard all the past. My friend Buckwheat had a Sad Wings on cassette. And the first time I heard Sad Wings, I was taken back because all those songs are so slow and so used to Unleashed versions that kind of deterred me for many years. Not thinking it was the best album, and I still think the Unleashed versions are superior. But and this also applies to Stained Class, because the only song from Stained Class that's on Unleashed is Exciter. nothing else.
Right.
And I like the Unleashed version more, but I will say, and this also applies to all the songs on Sad Wings, like Victim of Change's Ripper, Tyrant, and Side. I like the vocal performance more on those albums than what Rob did on Unleash. And what Rob did on Unleash is phenomenal. I'm not knocking it, but there's a little more enunciation, a little more character where, see, the story, because I read Rob's book, the story of Unleashed in the East was they were in Japan and he had a flu. So he didn't sing too well. So they went to John Lennon's house, which Ringo owned at the time, where he did Imagine.
Right.
That house. And
that's where they did British Steel as well, right?
Yeah, they did British Steel there. And what Rob Halford said, he went to that house and he sang the whole concert like it was a concert. He didn't take breaks. He just sang all those songs, plus Delivering the Goods, Beyond the Realms of Death, all the songs that didn't, Hellbent for that didn't make the album. He did it all in one take, because his voice was in top form. But I think by doing it with one take, you're at one level, where I think when he did the studio stuff, it had more, I don't know, character, even though I love just as well the Unleashed versions. I hope I'm making sense here.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I do like his vocal performance more. And there is one song on this album, Stained Class, when we get into it, Rob never, ever sang that well. The greatest song he ever sang, not the greatest Judas Priest song, but the greatest vocal performance is on this album.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you on that because, I initially did notes on Sad Wings, and I'm just like, oh, man, I can't hear those versions anymore because I'm so used to Unleashed, and I've listened to that so many more times than I have Sad Wings, and plus there's some songs on Sad Wings I think straight up suck, where this, I think every song is incredible. I think I would, spoiler alert, I would, out of all these songs, there's only one I would give a 9 out of 10, where the rest are 10 out of 10. And, the version of Exciter, I think is on par, if not better than the Unleashed in the East version, where I think, like I said, I'm so tainted by Unleashed. Sad Wings, I hear it and I'm like, no, I need Sad Wings. I need that power, that energy that's lacking.
Yeah, that's
from that
I'm telling you, that's how I felt for many years, but
yeah,
I get it now. Listening to Sad Wings, I get the power, the primitive. It's the album that perfected metal. You had Black Sabbath invented it. And one thing I've been like always, I always listen to a lot of Black Sabbath. And one thing dawned on me on Black Sabbath, listen to it, they really weren't bluesy. They get tagged as, they were a blues band that turned into a metal band. But listen to that early Black Sabbath, I don't hear blues. The only song I can say is kind of close is Warning off the first album. But that's a cover. But I don't find Black Sabbath to be a bluesy band.
The funny thing is with Sabbath, I see the blues influence, but I hear more jazz in the performance than blues. Yes,
like you listen to Fairies Wear Boots, but you hear more jazz because of Bill Ward.
Bill Ward and Tony.
It up.
I do. I hear more in the time signatures and everything, which, a lot of the time signatures come with Bill. But I also hear some jazziness in what Tony's playing. I do hear more blues out of Ozzy and Geezer, though, in their performances. But yeah, definitely the jazz element I think is more overpowering than the blues. But that's something that's something that pre-stripped away was the blues influence. You hear zero of that. And what you hear in Sad Wings of Destiny, I hear far too much of a Queen influence, or a proggy
I don't.
influence.
Oh, Epitaph, yes, but the rest, I don't hear Queen.
Prelude. Prelude sounds like
It's a little instrumental.
right, but I mean, I hear more proggy, like Queen type shit in there than I hear fucking metal. This album is straight up fucking metal, and to me, could be the first full blown of what you would call modern metal. You know, what we would know to come from Priest and in the 80s type metal. I mean, there's no doubt that Sabbath are the godfathers and the inventors, but you even said a Priest perfected it. This is the album where I think they perfected it, and there's none of the the prog influences, the classic rock influences. This is a straight up metal record. There's one song that's a little bit different, but I still think they put a hard edge on it. But this is just amazing. And I think, not only does this album more utilize the twin guitar attack, but also the drumming, the first one with Les Binks, which I think is so important. And for years, I kind of debated what is the best Priest lineup. I'd go back and forth. Is it Scott Travis or is it Les Binks? I think now Les Binks, because without Les Binks, you wouldn't have what Scott Travis did. And I think he was very influential on metal and doesn't get his due. He only played on this album, Hellbent or Killing Machine, depending on where you live, and Unleashed. But he set that style of drumming, which you didn't get during the Dave Holland years, as much as I love those. I mean, Dave Holland was a fucking, Ringo Starr type drummer.
I'll take him over Travis.
You take Dave Holland over Travis?
I'm talking about musically. Listen to not just, of course, Travis is technically better, but I like British Steel. I don't think Priest has made a better album than British Steel since, but I love Screaming. I love Defenders. I like all those albums more than anything Scott Travis has done with Priest.
And the tough thing with Dave Holland too is how many Priest albums did he actually fucking play on?
Well, I mean, that's debatable. I don't know.
I mean, what is it really? British Steel, Screaming, and Defenders.
Well, those are the three best one, and Point of Entry.
Point of Entry. But to me, it's a very, solid but dumbed down compared to what Les Binks did.
No, of course, and even Les Binks dumbed it a little down on Hellbent for Leather. A little bit, not much.
Well, I think they dumbed down the songwriting. What I love about this is there's none of those stupid, silly Priest songs to me, like Take on the World or United, which to me are, in my opinion, beneath Priest. Those are like turbo type songs. Well, this album is all metal.
Well, Judas Priest progressed to Stained Class, and that's where it stayed.
Yeah, they progressed and then they degressed.
Yeah,
to an extent. They picked it back up with Screaming and Defenders. I think musically, there was still some middle of the road songs, but there's also some like really heavy shit on those two albums. But to me, as much as I love British Steel, it's way dumbed down compared to this. And even
it was 1980. If you were a little kid like me in 1980, not only Stained Class, British Steel, but every fucking album in the 80s. In 1980, you had On Through the Night, you had Saxon, two killer Saxon albums.
Right.
Wheel of Steel, you had Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz, you had Heaven and Hell. It was a stellar year of metal. Right. And British Steel was up there, man. The first Maiden album.
I'm not contradicting the importance of British Steel, But I'm saying, to me, it's almost like a dumbed down version, like the Black Album is a dumbed down version of Metallica.
Well, and Hellbent for Leather is a dumbed down version of Sting.
Oh yeah.
That was a national. See, Hellbent for Leather to me was the beginning of era 2 of
I would agree with that. I would agree.
It still had a little bit of what was before, but not enough.
But to me, like, this album took what they kind of started on Sin After Sin, but perfected it.
Dude, Victim of Changes, Ripper, Deceiver, Tyrant, all that's a blueprint of Sting class.
Oh, no. I like it. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I don't think you can't say that Sin After Sin is not heavier than.
I don't think Sin After Sin is any more progressive than. I think it's a continuation of.
Yeah, but I think it's heavier. I think it's heavier than Sad Wings.
Nah, all right.
I mean, there's nothing on there like Dissident Aggressor and Sinner.
Yeah,
I think is heavier. So that they were showing signs of getting heavier, but I think this one they just they knocked it out of the fucking park. And then there's other things that I mean it's not as important musically, but like. This is where you got the Judas Priest logo, and this fucking album cover is one of the best of all time. I mean, and they, I love like the '80s theme with the cartoon shit and everything, but there's just something so timeless. Everything about this album, the album cover, the logo, the music, it's just fucking, it's Priest on fucking steroids.
I still don't know what that album cover is. What is it, like a Terminator figure getting shot with a laser gun? I don't
know. To me, I just always, it's like a robot or an android kind of thing, with like stained glass going through its fucking head, like shot through the fucking head. I love it. I need a stained glass T-shirt. Do you have one?
No, I don't have a stained glass shirt.
I need one.
And also got to remember that album cover inspired 2 kids to kill themselves.
Yeah, we'll get into that fucking later. Those dipshits. Glad they're not fucking breathing air anymore. Just saying.
I'm a big fan of Bill Hicks, but Bill Hicks said something really, it was cold about the 2 guys that killed themselves for Judas Priest fans.
What did he say?
He said, 2 kids killed themselves with Judas Priest. So what? What?
Yeah.
2 less gas station. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up, but he's not far off, And again, I don't mean to belittle people who suffer from depression. I've had bouts, and stuff like that. But God, if you're gonna kill yourself over a fucking record, you got more problems than fucking Judas Priest.
Kill yourself to a Slipknot record. Give them heat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our theme for this week. All Sammy Hagar fans, put on a Slipknot record, shoot yourself in the head, and keep that, have the record on the turntable. So when they come and find your dead body, they'll Slipknot record and
please
blame you.
Please. Oh my God. I would love to see that. Because you see all the shit in the news about grooming and stuff like that. You want to talk about grooming. It's Sammy Hagar grooming kids. It's not, drag queen story hour.
Sammy Hagar does it to retarded kids. Like that retarded looking Popeye we know.
And I need to douche my pussy. My pussy needs douching. Oh God. But when you first heard this in early 80s, you'd say then?
Yeah, I heard this between Screaming and Defenders, and I heard what happened was my friend played me Sad Wings Destiny, and I was a little thrown back by it. Then when I heard this album, I think this was the next one I heard, I liked it way more than Sad Wings. I was like, ooh. And then I heard Sin After Sin. I was like, God damn, I like them both more than Sad Wings. Then I heard Rockarola, which I love Rockarola, but that's not really metal. It's kind of a hard rocking thing, more in the vein of Led Zeppelin. but they became more of Judas Priest, in a way, invented metal as well. Like Sabbath and Priest both invented metal, one form of metal to another form of metal.
Yeah, and I know you'll make fun of me over this, but like when I was a kid, I wouldn't give rock and roll. Well, actually, you had a hard time finding rock and roll. You'd find Sad Wings, and then there was, remember, Hero.
Yeah,
and Best of Judas Priest. But I figured they sucked because it was on RCA, and Nobody Cool was on in the States. It was released on cassettes on RCA. I was like, no, that's like Frank Sinatra record label. Like nobody's cool on that. I'm like, there's cool bands on Columbia, But I wouldn't give it a chance because it was on RCA, and it just looked old to me. I'm like, oh, it must suck.
I was very unaware of that. I didn't know they were on RCA.
Yeah, I think in the States it was released through that, or at least that's what the cassettes looked like to me. It was like an RCA cassette.
No, both Sad Wings. I have not. Is it Hero? Yeah, I have Hero. I have Sad Wings, and I have Rock and Roll all on Gull Records. They're all on Gull Records.
Right. I think
the best of Judas Priest too is also on Gull.
Right. Yeah, with the weird
the night.
Yeah. I think it might have been like they were on Gull, but maybe it was distributed through RCA or whatever.
Yeah, Gull has made a living off Priest, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think they were also like back in the day they were released on Tamla, which was a subsidiary of Motown. When they initially came out in the 70s. So there you go. But fuck it, let's go into this one. Why don't you take the opening track?
Exciter. Starting off,
yeah.
Les Binks. Kind of coming off like, hey, check out our new drummer. There's double bass. There's some really vicious, like proto thrash going on this. Rob Halford singing amazingly. Love the guitar solos and the harmony guitar solos, which to me, nobody's better than KK and Glenn when it comes to double guitar players, except for Hank Sherman and Michael Denner. But I love what Thin Lizzy did. I even recently got into Wishbone Ash. I think those guys did some good shit.
Yeah.
Made it, but dude, these two were so lethal. And I mean, coming up later, the solo, what KK does on a feature tune, it's just, dude. I know technically Glenn is better, but I like KK more. I like his style more, his Hendrixy, wah-wah, because he plays it precise and he doesn't overdo it. He's fucking. It's just amazing. But Glenn is phenomenal too. And coming up is my favorite Glenn Tipton guitar solos on this album as well. But I love Exciter. And I'm talking about Unleashing the East, but it also applies to the studio version. The first time I heard Unleashing the East, and I hear Rob doing that, stand, fight for Exciter, stand, fight.
Yeah.
When he keeps building, it's like when he hits that last one, and he does it on this the studio version too, it's unreal. It's unhuman.
Oh yeah.
And nobody sang like that. Bob Hoffer was it was like a machine. Unbelievable. This song is fucking awesome. Probably, I would say it's my favorite track off this album. Exciter.
God, I'd be hard pressed to pick a favorite. I really would. I know my least favorite, but I don't know if I could pick a favorite. But fuck yeah, this is where true Priest starts for me. The singing, the drumming, the guitars, the lyrics. And just think of this in '78. This is what Priest is putting out, and Kiss puts out the fucking solo albums. Makes Kiss sound like Kiss. To me, only Motorhead at this time, which only had their first album come out and was still not the Motorhead that we would know and love. Was there anything fast like this and as powerful? And with Rob's voice, so unique. I mean, because I think prior to Rob, the only kind of screams you would hear like that would be from Ian Gillan. But to me, this was even next level shit over Ian Gillan, at least at that point. I mean, I know he has the legendary shit on Born Again, but this is pre-Born Again, and I'll take this over Child in Fucking Time over those screams. That's for goddamn sure. Just absolutely amazing opening track, and just shows like how far this band came in a short period of time. I'll take the next track. Funny that before I go on, this is something I didn't know about. Did you know there's a backwards part in this song?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. There's a part when played in reverse, Halford appeared to say, I asked for a peppermint. I asked her to get one.
Yes. I do remember that from the court, but I don't recall if I knew it was off Exciter. But I remember
Right.
Rob Hoffer saying that on the stand.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I don't know at what point the backward shit is on this, but I don't know where the backward shit is on the other song either. So I don't know. Maybe my ears only listen to shit, forward. Yeah. But I'll take the next one. White Heat, Red Hot. Holy fuck. Another perfect track. And this is one, man, would I love to see them bring this in the fucking set list. I mean, there's so many songs on here I think would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, maybe, only hardcores like you and me would know, but I think it would be the same like reaction as, when you and I saw them, in, was it 2019, when they played Starbreaker, and we're like, holy fucking shit, if they would be, yeah, but if they bring out like, White Hot, Red Heat, oh my God, this is Priest. This is Priest 101. And just amazing track. And they've played every song off this album live except for one, even though there's one that they didn't play until 2021. But yeah, there's only one track on here not played live, and that one blows my mind. But yeah, this would be very welcomed, I think, in the set list. And
there's two songs on here that were played live that were never played live back then, but were played live later.
Yeah, but there's one that's still never been played.
Okay.
But I love this.
I'm curious to know what song that is.
Well, I'll let you know when we get to it. Okay. What do you think of this track?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I love the version that's on that video of them playing Japan where Rob wore all that furly shit.
Yeah.
Rob wore all that furly shit, and there's KK on leather. Who brought leather into fucking Priest? It was fucking KK, man.
Yep.
The song rips, man. It's a little more toned down than the rest of the album. I wouldn't say it's very proggy or anything. It's kind of straightforward in a way, but in a way it's kind of out there as well, where it's not so mainstream. I love the guitar work. I love the drumming toward the end and Rob like screaming his ass off. Classic. Love it. Then we go into Better By You, Better Than Me, right?
Yep.
The Spooky Tooth cover.
Yes, sir.
Love it. If I was to pick my least favorite on the album, it'd be this. But I still love it. And if you play this backward, it says "Do It." And I remember listening to this as a little kid. And when, that part came, subliminally, I went and did the dishes. I went and cleaned the bathroom. I mopped the house because of this song telling me to do it. So I did all those things. I went and cut the grass. Yeah, I was very tired because of this song. It made me do a lot of events. But it's great. It's a cool cover. I've heard the original. I prefer this version. But the original is pretty cool, though. It's not bad. I dig it. I think Better By You, Better Than Me is a great tune, and I believe it might have been record company pressure. You know, Diamonds and Rust. Okay, we want another cover. So
Yes.
it might have been record company pressure, but I love it, and I will hear your review as I go get my drink.
All right. I absolutely love this track. Yes, it is a Spooky Tooth cover. Written by the Dreamweaver himself, Gary Wright, who just passed away. I do like the Spooky Tooth original, but it's nothing compared to this. But I don't get what it is about this song that would make you kill yourself. I don't know. This is one of the two main ones that was listed in the lawsuit and everything. And the whole do it. I mean, I don't hear it to my ears, but maybe it did have an influence when I killed the Sammy Hagar fan, but they never found the body. Because who cares when a Sammy Hagar fan goes missing? They just chalk it up to another sexually confused child. I love this song. Not my least favorite. I think it's awesome. Another one, Bring This Fucking Back Alive. This would be a great, just mid-tempo number. I don't think would be too hard to sing for him. I love it, dude. It's Better By You, Better Than Me. And again, if anybody out there knows why this song is about killing yourself, let us know in the comments section, either on Podbean or on YouTube, because I have no fucking clue. But man, did you ever see that documentary that they made about the kids who shot themselves, and that poor fucking bastard who lived and looked like a mupp? Have you ever seen anything grosser in your life than that fucking kid who survived the fucking gunshot to the face? And he later died. I think it was 3 years later, he OD'd. And fuck, I don't blame him. Looks like a fucking Muppet. It didn't even look fucking human. Why the fuck are you going to kill yourself when you can listen to Judas Priest? You kill yourself, you can't listen to Judas Priest no more. Doesn't make sense. Don't fucking get it. But then we go to the next song, the title track, Stained Class.
Yeah, talk about that.
Woo, holy fuck, is this an epic song? And you think Iron Maiden never heard this? That fucking gallop, that fucking chorus, long ago and far. Oh my god, I fucking love that shit. Another, Bring This Fucking Back. This is fucking Judas Priest. This is the Judas Priest I know and love, and a lot of the other priests I love. There's similarities there. A masterpiece. This is Halford and Tipton wrote this one, and so far no KK co-writes. There's actually only 2 songs on this album that have KK involved in it. This is not one of them, but god damn do I love this. It's quintessential fucking Priest. Deserves to be the title track. Just fucking Stained Class. Everything about it's perfect. I don't know what more you can say, but I'd love to hear what Ralph has to say about it if he's done peeing or filling his glass.
I'm here.
Okay. What do you think of Stained Class?
What, you don't see me?
Oh, no, I got another page up on.
Right,
now I see you.
That's all right. This is a song that I think Rob Halford does his greatest vocal performance in. It's so out there. There's so many changes. What he does, and a lot of highs and lows, and these changes this song does. He does all these crazy changes vocally that I don't think he's done anything as insane as this. This is like what he did in Descent Aggressor, but turn it up to 1,000,000. The Gallop, yeah, the what Maiden did later. It's just an epic, awesome song. Absolutely love the title track. Then we go into Invader, right?
Yes.
Invader is a song they didn't play back then. I didn't know that till they played it on some recent tour, saying this is the first time they ever played Invader. Same thing with another song coming up. Love it.
That was a one, I believe 2001 was the first time they played Invader.
Yeah. Awesome. A little more straightforward. but it's got this. I don't know. The guitars sound like UFOs. It does some UFO-ish type shit. You know? It's amazing. When I listen to this, it makes me believe in UFOs more than when I hear Sammy sing about it. I love Invader, man. Hard to believe they didn't play it back then because it's an accessible song. Probably most accessible song on this album. And it wasn't played till, many, many decades later. But Invader rules. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I love it. Again, in my notes, I put not played until 2021. And we're 5 cuts deep into this album and 5 perfect fucking songs. I mean, talk about an incredible side one. Holy fucking shit. Invader. I mean, again, it has everything that you know and love from Priest. Unless you're somebody that just likes Turbo Lover, I don't know how you could listen to any of these songs and I go, oh yeah, that's Priest I know and love. That's fucking incredible. What a way to end side one. And I'll flip it over and go to side 2. And holy fuck, Saints in Hell. I mean, a perfect fucking track. And I love the swagger of this fucking song. Finally, we have a co-write with KK. And I mean, I love kind of like the start stop of this, and the little chug along. And I mean, it's fucking Saints in Hell. Those screams you get out of Halford on this, it's Priest to the fucking core, man. Saints in Hell. I dig it. What you think?
I love it. But I mean, there's some songs that the cheese kind of like adds to it, and this is one of them.
You think so, huh?
That whole blood-sucking bats and stuff like that. It's so cool. It's cheesy, though, but it's cool as fuck. I love it. You know what I love? Is Fate's Warning doing this song. They do an amazing cover.
I don't know if I've heard it.
Yeah, I will promote it. I think the greatest tribute album ever is called The Tribute to the Metal Gods.
I have that, but I don't think I've listened to every track.
Well, it might not be on there because I'm not sure. It might be on the American version. My friend Holy George was in the army in Japan, and he bought me both. In Japan there were 2 discs. In America, they combined both discs into 1 disc.
Yeah, well, I know there's 2 volumes of it. I have 2 volumes of it.
Okay, then you got like the Japanese shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I didn't know Holy George fought for the Jap army.
No,
did you say Jap army?
He was in the Navy. I'm sorry, not army.
Oh, Japs got a Navy?
No, man, it's Americans. They're allowed in Japan.
Why are you calling them Japs?
The American Navy. I didn't call them Japs.
Oh,
I call them slanty-eyed faggots.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
We're gonna get canceled.
Cancel. Yeah, but oh my God, Saints in Hell. Come on. What a riff. And that you can tell that opening riff, that's KK. That sounds like something KK would do.
Yeah.
Ripping. I love Rob again, kind of like Stained Class, how Rob does those crazy screams, and it's another challenging track for him, which is another song they didn't play back then that they played on a recent tour. Where I was like, wow, they didn't play Stained Class back. I mean, this song back.
Saints in Hell, yeah.
Stained Class, a good version of Stained Class is on the Rob Halford live album. Live in He does a cool version of Stained Class, which is great. Saints in Hell is awesome. Savage is next, right?
Yes.
Wow. Again, this is epic metal. Doesn't let up. Again, with Rob's vocals and the metal machinery of this song, just the it doesn't let up, man. This whole album is just bashing you over the head. And Savage is like probably like the dark horse song on this album. I think this song is fucking phenomenal. Love it. What do you think?
I think I just got a text from Marty Freeman. He said he'll no longer listen to this show because you said Japs.
I didn't say Japs. You said Japs. I said slanty eyed.
I know, but I said it with a wink.
Oh, God, yeah.
Damn it.
Okay.
You called him slanty eyed faggots. He didn't like that either. he said slanty eyed was funny, but faggots, you went over the line.
All right. All right. How's this? Slanty eyed British cigarettes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see if he texts back. Savage is my least favorite song on the album, and it still kicks fucking ass. That's how great this is. And again, I hear this and I think to myself, without Judas Priest, Iron Maiden would always sound like the Judas Priest, the Jethro Tull cover band they are now. And that's what I miss about Priest is the fucking urgency and the rawness that they stole from Judas Priest and act like they didn't. Without Priest, there's no fucking Maiden. I'm sorry.
I just got a text from Marty Friedman.
Oh yeah, what'd he say?
And first off, fuck you, Ralph. I hate you. And tell Ian to kiss my ass and don't insult Jethro Tull like that.
Oh, fuck that Jap lover. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I love our Japanese fans. Domo arigato. Savage. Again, you got to pick a least favorite. This is it. I love every fucking song on the album. This is the one I would give a 9 out of 10, where everything else gets a 10 out of 10. Still fucking killer. But then we go on to, holy fucking shit. Beyond the Realms of Death. I mean, just such a powerful fucking song. Still wouldn't make me kill myself. But this is the one I could kind of understand, like somebody depressed listening to this and like, but I don't know. I've listened to sad songs and sympathize, but I've never heard a song that would make me kill myself. And apologies to anybody who's been suicidal, but I mean, goddamn, if a song is what's going to push you over, I don't think it took too much to push you over. I think you were already fucking there.
A song never ever made me want to commit suicide. But an album did, 5150.
Yeah. And even 5150 didn't make me want to kill myself. It made me want to kill other people.
That liked
yeah, exactly. And one of these days I'm going to get a step ladder and I'm going to kill Bushy. I'm going to climb that fucking mountain and just slit his fucking throat.
You know what? I actually think Bushy doesn't like 5150.
Yeah.
He liked the other ones, but I think that one is slam.
Yeah, whatever. He's a self-hating 5150 fan.
Yeah.
I think he just tells people in public that, I don't like that.
OU812 is better than Women and Children First and Fair Warning. He said that, and I still don't believe he meant that. Yeah. I think it's just him wanting to get people to talk. There's no way he thinks that. There's no way he thinks that.
And you know what? If somebody shoots Bushy because of that, I think that'll hold up in court. I think they'll get off on that shit. But Jesus fuck, is this epic. Not only one of Priest's best songs, but I think one of the best. It's got too much balls to call it a power ballad, but I mean, it's kind of a slow, builder. But not only one of the best metal songs, but I think one of the best songs in music ever. This song is just flawless to me. And if you don't see the beauty in Beyond the Realms of Death, you got taste for fucking shit.
You're a faggot ass faggot.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's beyond the fucking realms of death. Holy fucking shit. And again, listen to it, enjoy it. Don't fucking kill yourself. Unless you enjoy this song and Sammy Hagar. If you do, then take both barrels and
no. That'll never happen. Anybody that likes Sammy Hagar would never get the awesomeness of.
That's right.
And if you do say that you're a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's nobody that can fall for that shit.
No. If you like Sammy Hagar, you have taste for shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't think there's any Sammy Hagar and Judas Priest fans.
No.
I think that's pretty much about like you could like Sammy Hagar and the Counting Crows.
Yeah.
You know, but not Judas Priest.
You can like Sammy Hagar and Glory Holes.
Yes. Well, they all do. You know. But a goddamn motherfucking masterpiece, man, Beyond the Realms of Death. It's spine chilling how fucking great this is, and the performance, you know, the vocally, musically, it's great. And when I hear it, you know, it's kind of a sad, you know, subject matter, but I never get depressed when I listen to this. I never get sad. I just appreciate the beauty of the music and everything. If anything, it's uplifting. I don't take the lyrics like, you know, like, oh, woe is me. I'm just like, oh my God, is this executed perfectly? You know, I mean, it comes from a place, I think, of sincere emotion and desperation, but this is what you do when you feel that kind of despair and desperation. You write something out of it and you get it out of your system and you exercise it. And I think there's nothing wrong with listening to this and saying like, yeah, I feel, I mean, we all go through bullshit, but that's the beauty of music. You should be able to listen to this and identify and go, yeah, you know, I'm down, but never count yourself out. And, you know, if this encourages you to just give up, I think you really miss the whole meaning of the song, you know, and I think you already gave up, and that's sad. But I've been listening to this song for years, and I'm going to listen to this song, you know, Dave willing, for many more years to come. It's a fucking masterpiece.
I don't know if I just thought of this. This song inspired by One Floor of the Cuckoo's Nest, was that out yet? Was that out?
It was out yet, but I didn't read anything that it was inspired by it. It just says lyrics that depict a man waiting for death as he suffers from catatonia and depression. You know, though the manner of his death is unclear, it's implied to be by suicide.
Doesn't the lyrics talk about him being in like a insane asylum?
I believe so. I'm bad with lyrics. It's like one of those things, like if I hear the song playing, I can sing along with it, but I can't recite them verbatim. But I mean, it very well could be.
I think there's a line in there to do with the rubber room or something. I can't remember now.
I think there's a line where he says, "You're not going to do this now, are you? Not now."
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I laugh.
You don't remember that scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest where she changes the World Series?
Oh, okay.
And he goes, "You're not going to do this now, are you?"
Okay, now I get it.
He goes up to Nurse Ratched. Love that shit.
I love that movie, man. See, Nurse Ratched deserved that Oscar. She won, right? I think she won that.
Yes. Yeah, she won and Jack won.
She was awesome.
And it got Best Picture.
Jack won.
Yeah.
Awesome. She died like a year or two ago.
Yeah, Louise Fletcher. Amazing actress.
Nobody could have played Nurse Ratched better than her. She was wickedly good.
I always think about that first scene though, where fucking Jack's getting interviewed by the guy and goes, "I don't know who you are, but when they put that little beaver in your face, you don't ask them how old they are." You know,
you can't throw that line in a movie today.
Yeah. And I know I didn't say it verbatim, but you get the point.
Yeah, I know. About banging a teenager or something. I remember that.
Yeah.
Or that he admitted to banging a teenager is what he said.
Yeah.
In the opening scene. Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you idiots who've never seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, basically he gets arrested for statutory rape and fakes being insane to get out of like, doing hard labor and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it don't end well.
That's such a great movie. I saw it in the theater as a little kid. Back in the 70s, man, me and my friend Yai, we saw The Exorcist, The Omen, all these movies. And we looked like little kids. We were. We were fucking 9, 10, 11 years old, going up to the box office. One for Exorcist. They'd give us tickets. We'd walk right in.
You're right. The 70s did roll. You saw that in the theaters, and I saw Smokey and the Bandit 3. I saw you in theaters. The 80s sucked.
Yeah. But I love this song. This is my favorite Glenn Tipton guitar solo ever. What he does on this song, and KK does a killer solo at the end. But that mellow type, there's so much feeling in Glenn's playing on this song. And yeah, I love it. It's mellow, it's heavy, it's mellow, it's heavy. I believe Les Binks had a lot to do with this song. Les Binks actually wrote the music to the song and gave it a Halford.
Yeah, he was the co-writer. And this is the only Judas Priest album where all 5 members are credited. I think Invader has an Ian Hill co-write, and this one has a Les Binks co-write.
Amazing song. Absolutely love it. All right, and I never seen him play this live till the Ram It Down tour.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw Screaming, Defenders, Turbo. None of them. They didn't play the song, but man, when I saw Ram It Down and they threw this on, I was like, oh my God. Go ahead.
I thought it was cool that they played it on the Painkiller tour, which was right after the lawsuit. This is the one they got sued for, and I love that they're just like, fuck you, we're playing Beyond the Realms,
And when they played Concrete Foundation, they played Better By You, Better Than Me that night in 1990. They didn't play on the tour, but they played it at Concrete Foundation. Nice. Yeah, what can I say? I love Beyond the Realms of Death. And I have this vinyl that has Beyond the Realms of Death from Unleashing the East. That wasn't a bonus track on those.
Ooh, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have a vinyl. It brings all the bonus tracks plus Beyond the Realms of Death. Which is great, but you know what? I know it might sound controversial or something, but I don't think the bonus tracks on Unleash the East can match the greatness of Unleash the East. And
sometimes I think you get so used to an album, like the track listing and what it is, like when they add shit, it just sounds jarring. I think one of the rare exceptions to where I actually enjoyed it was when Cheap Trick released the complete Budokan.
Right.
I enjoyed the complete version way more than the original. Like I can't even listen to the original Budokan anymore. I have to listen to the complete. But there are other times when they add bonus stuff and it's just like it almost takes away. Even if it's a good song or a good performance, sometimes it just shit's so ingrained. Like I think Unleashing the East is for a lot of us, that the rest of it, it's sometimes less is more. Sometimes Les Binks is more than Alan Moore.
I can't listen to the complete Budokan anymore.
Really?
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it more than the original at Budokan. But when I went and revisited the original at Budokan, there's just... but you know what? You had to be there. You had to be there when that album was released. How special it was. It's just... love the whole vibe of that album,
I mean, I had at Budokan first, which is funny because I bought at Budokan right around the same time I got Unleashed from the East. But when the complete came out, to me, that it just felt more like a real show than Budokan.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it, but I kind of miss the original version. It's more pop.
I get you.
There's no real heavy songs on that Budokan.
Right.
The complete version had the heavy tunes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I love it. I love the complete version. I bought the box that has like 4 shows on it,
Yeah.
And the video, the Budokan video. All
All
right.
right. Well, take the last song, Hero's End.
Hero's End to me is the greatest Judas Priest deep track ever. This, if I had to pick one song that I want to see Judas Priest play, it would be Hero's End. That's the song. This song is so good. It's so amazingly good. Not talked about in the circles of Judas Priest. Nobody brings up Hero's End, which is ridiculous because this song is so fucking epic. And this is the one where KK really shines at the end with the whammy and shit. Just so badass. And it ends with KK doing the wah. It's just the craziness. Love Hero's End to death. Probably my second favorite. Third favorite. I put it right below Beyond the Realms of Death, Exciter, Beyond the Realms of Death, and Hero's End are my three favorite tracks of Stained Class. Love the hell out of the song. The greatest Judas Priest deep track, in my opinion.
Awesome. Well, this is the one that they've never played live.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yep, never played it live. And I don't know why, because this is so Priest, so Glenn. And in my opinion, it's a great closer. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on should this be the closer or should Beyond be the closer. But they're both perfect. You know, they're both amazing songs. But it is kind of weird, like, you know, coming out of Beyond and then going into this. But I fucking love it. I mean, it's great, and I'm really surprised that this is the one, you know, the one that's never got played live. But, you know, what an ending, you know. This is the kind of shit we love and talk about. 9 tracks. This shit doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like 40 minutes long. Comes in, kicks the living shit out of you. And to me, it's the pinnacle. And like I said, you didn't have, like, you know, what you would get in future Priest. You would get more of the silly, cheesy songs. You know, like your United and what's the one off?
Parental Guidance.
Yeah, Parental Guidance. I'll give you that. What's the other? What's the one off of fucking the next album that's really fucking Take on the World? Yeah, terrible. But now my favorite Priest, and I was so excited because this is the kind of shit I had in mind when I was like, I need to wash this fucking Kiss bullshit out of my fucking ears. This was absolutely perfect. Nope, wife's calling. Yeah, fucking amazing. This album was released first of 2 albums in 1978. This one was released February 10th, produced by most of the album was produced by Dennis I gotta bring it up here. Dennis McKay. There was one track, and it was the last one added, Better by You, Better Than Me, was produced by James Guthrie, who was more known for Pink Floyd, very involved in the latter part of their career. But the record company, you made mention earlier about you felt like that was maybe record company. Totally. The record company heard this and they felt the album was way too dark and they needed something commercial. And Better by You, Better Than Me was added at the last minute. And Dennis McKay was already producing another album, couldn't be brought back. And that's why they got James Guthrie. So good catch on you. If you didn't know that, you're pretty fucking observant. Better by You, Better Than Me was the first single, released in January of 78. And then in May, they released Exciter as the second and last single. This album did go gold, but not till much later in Priest's career, you know, after they made it bigger, you know, in the States after British Steel and, you know, Screaming for Vengeance. I believe this was the first one, though, to chart in the U.S. It charted at 173 in the top 200.
I believe this was the first tour, too, in the States.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the first tour in the States was Sin After Sin was the tour, I believe, when they opened up for Priest. They opened up for Priest. They opened up for Led Zeppelin.
I think that was only one show. I could be wrong. I know they toured with Zeppelin in Europe, but on the Green.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think that was Sin After Sin. But I'm not sure if they did an American tour. They might have.
True.
I know they were opening for everybody back then. They opened for Blister Call, for REO Speedwagon, for Kiss.
Yeah.
They opened for a lot of bands back then.
You know. And I just, before we go on, I just listened to this too. I thought about the show that you and me got to see and what a goddamn incredible show that was. Not only, because I was in a very low point at that show when you're like, come out, spend your birthday with me in fucking Miami Beach, got to hang out with you, hang out with Charlie and Danielle at the show, and Dave the Beast Spitz was there, and what a show. And I just want to run down that set list because we were so lucky. I was looking at today. Necromancer, the Sentinel, Heading Out to the Highway, Spectre, Take These Chains, Judas Rising, Out in the Cold, Trader's Gate, Starbreaker, Stealer, Halls of Valhalla, Killing Machine, No Surrender, Victim of Changes, All Guns Blazing, Hellbent for Leather, and then the encore of Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight, which Glenn came out. And at that time, we really thought that was going to be the last, the last appearance of Glenn Tipton. It would have been cool in a way if it was, but in another way, I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad he's been able to do, a few more encores here and there.
You recall, Ian, I wasn't with you at the show when I bumped into my friend Pete, who was managing Priest at the time.
Right. You told me, yeah.
Axl Rose with AC/DC,
right.
ZZ Top. And yeah, he said tonight is the last time you'll see Glenn on stage.
Right. Then it was a fucking great night. And, to get to see it with you, and Charlie and Daniela being there, it was an incredible night. And I hope I get to see Priest again. I really do.
Tim Bream was there.
Oh, that's right. Bream was there. I drink a lot. But amazing. And so fun to talk about, an album that means so much to me. And we're going to get back at it. Next time you see one of these type episodes, we are going to get back to the fan paid episodes, but today we just picked one for us. And I needed it after that Kiss episode on the Almost Human channel. Right. But it's time to go into pick of the week. And Ralph?
No, I don't have one. Go ahead.
All right. Well, luckily for you, and I know you hate when I do this, but I do have two. Because it's very rare these days that there's two albums that really get me excited that are new, that aren't like fucking reissues and stuff. But there's a brand new live album from Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats called Slaughter on First Avenue. And it's compiled from two shows played at the legendary First Avenue Club in Minneapolis. I think one from 2019 and one from 2000 or 2022, something like that. But man, was it fucking good. And there's a lot of, bands that we love, legendary acts that, there's a lot of bands every time they tour now, something like Maiden, they always put out a live album. You might listen to them once, do you go back again? This was the first time in a long time I listened to a live album. And trust me, I like some ones that, Motorhead's put out posthumously. And I like them, but have I gone back? I can't say that I have. But this is one I listened to and I was like, holy shit, is this a great, great live album? And this is something I'll definitely replay. So Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Slaughter on First Avenue. And oddly enough, my second pick is a tribute album, which a lot of those, I'll download a bunch and I might listen to one or two songs, but in reality, I never go back and listen to. But this one caught me off guard and it was, man, I loaded it on my phone. I've been listening to a lot. It's a Blue Oyster Cult tribute album called Dominance and Submission. and it's basically a lot of bands that I've never heard of. A lot of like stoner and desert rock type bands. There are some that some of you might know, like Mondo Generator with Nick Oliveri. There's another track that has Nick Oliveri and Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees and Queens of the Stone Age. But a lot of their bands that I've never heard of or anything from and shit. But I like them, and what I like about it is the songs are either pretty faithful or take it in such a direction that it sounds fresh, but none of them sound like, they went too far. Like some of these tribute albums, you'll hear one, where it's like, oh, what's the point? It's too close, or, like this is so far removed, I have no fucking interest. But I found it a very interesting tribute album. Dominance and Submission's the name of it. Check it out. I'm going to be doing a lot of shit related to the podcast this week. And I know there's a lot of people who've wrote me messages that I haven't got back to about, like, because I always say, like, hey, if you guys want this, I'll send it to you on fucking Dropbox. And I'm going to get to all those people this week. And if there's any people who can't find this BOC tribute album, which it might be pretty hard to find, hit me up this week. I'm going to take care of everybody. It's going to be like the fucking Godfather.
Send me take care. I want it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to take care of everybody this fucking week. I'm going to go through all the messages. I'm going to set up the fucking the Patreon, all this shit. I have cleared my schedule this week. We are going to clean business, and we are going to fucking start whooping some ass at the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast on all fronts. I'm going to get to everybody, the Patreon. I'm going to be back on the Facebook page. Ready to start taking this shit to the next level. And I encourage everybody, get your ass on our Facebook page this week to find out how you can join the Patreon, and get your ass on the YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. As Ralph says, it helps the algorithm.
No, if you like the video, it's good for the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like the video. Subscribe.
Hold on.
What you do is you subscribe, you click the little notification bell for notifications, then like the video for the YouTube algorithms. That's the way it works. And now Ian is changing headphones here. Is he ready? Let's find out, because I ain't editing this show. This is all one take. You ain't there, Ian? Are you there? I guess not. Well, as he's trying to get, I got a pick of the week now. Wait, what was it? Damn it. Oh, okay. Talked about them earlier, actually. The last Flotsam and Jetsam album, Blood in the Water. Oh, is that album?
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me, Ian? All right, he doesn't hear me. That's my pick of the week.
Hey, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I just gave my pick of the week.
Okay, what was your pick of the week? I'm curious.
Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water, their last album.
Awesome.
Just do yourself a favor and go on YouTube and click Flotsam and Jetsam, Prepare for Impact. It will mess you up how good that song is. That's my pick of the week, man. Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water.
Awesome. And now I learned how to switch my headphones when the other ones die.
Right.
Which is important for future shows. Well, now we go to fan of the week, and fan of the week, I'm going to be very gay and vague here, but I want to thank everybody who's stuck by. And I know it's been kind of dead around here, other than what we've done on Facebook Live, and now we're back to a traditional episode that you know and love with the news, the review. Yes, we are going to change the format up a little bit once we're done with these fan episodes, but this is something you can count on from now on. You're going to have the visual version on YouTube. You're still going to have the audio version. And I want to thank everybody who stuck by us. And I'm excited for you guys to have different ways to enjoy the show and check it out. And just everybody that's listened to us, over all these years, twice today we got shot down for recording episodes that we've already done. But that shows you how long we've been doing this shit, since 2014. and we're old. We forget shit, you know. And luckily Sam Wetz, you know, a lifer, let us know, like, hey, you can't do that. You already done it, you know. And we don't redo shit like some other podcasts, you know. We don't do it for the 39th and a half anniversary. You know, we done it. We'll move on to something fucking new because we're the world's podcast.
That's right.
But mainly America's. Mainly America's.
Goof on the Boston racist all you want, but that guy gets more views than.
Ain't gonna say it.
No, I ain't gonna say it, but he does get more views.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody, and it was glad to see the outpouring when I posted today on the Facebook page that Ralph and I were recording tonight. It was going to be a regular episode, and it was going to be available, you know, in the different formats. So yeah, just, you know, get on the page. If you've been off there for a while, like I have, man, I'm guilty as a motherfucker. I ain't been on there for shit. I'm going to be back on there. I'm going to have a lot of information about how you can join the Patreon. You know, go to Tone Threads, get those Rock and Metal Combat Podcast t-shirts. Pay us, motherfucker. Pay us. We give you a lot of entertainment for not a lot of money. And we're going to give you something special, you know, for $5 a fucking month. We're going to give you some special live shows and bring something really unique. And we're going to step it up and kick things into gear here. And if you like this episode and you want more like this, come back next week. Come back next week to the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Oh my God.
This has been a Schmack-a-Magob, what up your butt production. See you next week.